is changing up
Let's
your
get it,
drop
baby.
spots. I was trying to look like a draft
Game
map
1 of 5,
yesterday,
Chad. Game 1 of
trying to figure
5.
out where these teams would drop. I woke up today, a few different changes already. So I
Hey,
expect to
Priz,
see
Chris
that
Darcy,
throughout the
Lane,
day.
Curtis,
As the
welcome in,
line
chat. Let's
adapts,
go,
maybe
baby.
one team goes over to Crime City, maybe
Ooh,
two. And
with
as the line
double con to
predicts,
Mass Meadows.
3,
Okay, this is
4,
supposed to be a
lot of
triple con,
spots
wasn't I
open up,
think?
which gives a lot of opportunity.
Yeah, we didn't really highlight too much about what types of battles are going to be going on in the early game. Of course, the focus is, you know, designed around what teams are the big names to look out for, right? The dynamic as we start to set the stage.
Oh my god, is this 3 teams at Demon's Dojo? There's 2 teams on Dojo and 1 on the river. What is happening? Peterbot just killed visuals. Pete goes down to mini shed. Hello? Wait, Pete's dead. Pete just got knocked and finished. And Cole just died to mini shed.
You see that in the feed right now? A big battle. You thought it was going to be uncontested, but visuals.
Yo, broadcast, can we
I think this is a chip on their shoulder.
Wait, they're landing at the Dilbit server room. Wait. Yo, Braids, mini shed, and visuals don't want to give it up. Now the train's just rolling on through. Damn. Oh, I don't know about this.
And all of a sudden now they have a
this could be really bad for Braids. We'll see.
What does this mean for the overall competition?
Oh boy.
I mean, at this point, I think they're just getting started.
Hey, boost found biddies.
So, hey,
oh boy.
There's always mix-ups. You never really know.
Yeah, and I only saw 2.
So is Ritual still alive? Richie's still up.
So there might be hope. I think Ritual might have been able to stay alive, so it's really going to be up to him to keep their.
The only problem is, if you guys didn't see it, literally like 3 Div 1 finals ago, Visuals tried to get some surge on Peterbot, so Pete spent the next 3 games killing him in mid-game every single game, just chasing him across the map. So we'll see whether this plays out in Visuals' favor. We'll see.
We'll end up moving towards the south, which I do think I see a 4th team over on that side of things.
JP, I think captain.
Crazy work right here.
Richie got a clutch, bro. Richie got a clutch.
Wonderful draw spot. Not sure if there's enough loot there for 4 teams, though. That'll really spread things thin. But hey, teams are getting eliminated pretty quickly now.
We'll see, man. We'll see.
Full team wipe. You can see.
Visual wants the smoke. I mean, hey, this is what kids always say. Like, why do people not let Pete take all their loot? Well,
here's the thing, though.
They're trying to not let Pete take their loot. Let's see if it works for him.
Trends to be the most stacked, but something about the pacing so far seems to be keeping these teams very much on edge here as they're going straight. Oh, that means Pete's probably not going to win game 1 then. We'll see. We've seen a new era, a new dawn of players coming out of here for NA.
I think so. I feel like for so long, I know we talked about Peterbot, we have Kanata, you have Clicks, you have both. You have so many hyper-aggressive players that get their points and their surge through eliminations. I think that's eventually going to catch on. Even a contested drop like Mass
Brace seems solid. Oh, Brace seems solid, though. I'm just, yeah.
Sides of the POI. Eventually, because there is a
we'll see.
to break into, they will start to converge in that area.
We'll see how it plays out, man. I'm here for it for sure. It's definitely spicy. It's entertaining.
Might be G-Money's team trying to third party.
Yeah, we saw Bryce there really looking to take an angle, possibly third party this fight going on right now for Plazmetics and CR from the Wick. Seems like they've now evened the score there.
Ooh, Richie with the solo clutch.
Ritual, I'd assume he'd have to be farming for gold or something.
Yeah,
here,
get
right?
some gold to buy the reboots. No way they buff Peterbot with that reboot change again, bro. Now he can buy them back in it.
No easy task. As if Ritual didn't already have pressure.
There's no way he can buy them back.
His whole squad.
And there he goes. He's bought their cards back, bro. This is so insane.
There it is.
Dude, if this groups was like 2 weeks ago, Pete's probably just fully done in game 1, but nope.
All to himself. You're talking about how much gold it actually is, but that's already a V.
They're back.
That's Chimp. That's Skittles. That's the ones you're seeing just north of Crime City. Probably looting up that black market, but this reboot.
Yep, they both come back, chat.
And that lets them know there might be some weak players.
There it is.
Potentially take
well,
down.
Pete and Cole are back.
Gets tagged a couple times. But back into the action here. Hazards looking for a little.
You guys wanted Aviv to beam him? Come on, Aviv, hit your shot, son.
Now looking to get back with his squad to go ahead and re-control.
Need the Kovacs on
now.
Jesus Christ.
Remember, this team already fought off, right? Fended off.
Yo, Nick, thanks for coming to YouTube member, bro. Thanks, homie.
Team, or I should say, sorry, the northern team rotating south here into Roars and company. Very tough ask, right? As you try to situate yourself here, then you get a team.
So this happened on NA this morning, on E this morning as well. Like no one died at the start. Oh, here we go. Creon coming from Pump Power. My Hispanic boys.
Starts to show up here. Noisy, Creo, and Tony. Here's a veteran trio trying to put their take on the matter.
Yeah, they heard all this noise going down. They were the ones I was talking about, a potential 4th team besides the 3 that landed in and around Demon's Dojo. They're able to loot up towards the outside, and they got a fair bit amount of
nice,
loot. The fight's
Wiggs.
already
Wait,
breaking
well
down.
played,
Peterbot's already
Wiggs.
gonna get knocked instantly by Wiggs, and that puts the tides in their favor. But they're trying to do it.
This is one of my long-term subs here, man.
He does just that, getting an elimination of his own, bringing it down to a 2v2. But I say that.
Chat, I'm not watching replays. This is what I'm watching all day, chat.
Teams or those scattered players on the outsides, you can see them very clearly in the minimap.
Hey, look, Tony, Noisy, and Creo, this is a team that's been around the block, right? They know what's going on here. They know how to handle themselves in these types of settings. They seem to have the best loadout, the best
Spicy start though, man. Not the Pete runaway we were thinking we might have.
I mean, between them two, barely had 10 shotgun bullets here. So this is a fight that cannot go on too much longer. Otherwise, they're just gonna fizzle out. They're gonna come up short. But
Bro, how many teams are gonna step foot in Dojo? This is getting ridiculous.
More now. And they're starting to get their footing back in the game. Another trio rotating from the south, though, down into Demon's
another
Dojo.
team.
What is going on here? What a
52 of today's players trying to qualify for their first FNCS finals. That's crazy.
The lobbies have actually been getting. This is just
More than half the players in this lobby have never made a grands before.
Of FNCS after getting this far after the play-ins, and we got Jeff, Skater, and High R, kind of relatively new trio to the mix, landing over towards Lone Wolf Lair, contested in this group, so it's not going to be easy. Just like we saw some of those fights on the other side of the map, this is one that if it does end up lasting a long time,
oh, this is really dragging out. Jeez, this is still going.
Leaves the potential for not only those third parties to come in, but to set up around the black market. So teams that land towards Lone Wolf, that's going to be their step number 2 once they're able to get that ball. If in this
no
situation,
way they didn't action fake ages. No way we have ages in this group. Man, Epic really went from like actioning Ron's name to just like never actioning anyone's.
Of course, the type of player that we're looking at.
It's gonna be so confusing for casuals watching Ages and then being like, wait, why is Ages like, why is Ages not playing with Poyo? Like, oh my god.
Their material counts. They are desperate.
Poor casuals, bro. They're gonna be very confused.
See how far they can take this one here, as other teams are now starting to look inwards. Meanwhile, the recovery.
Oh, here we go. How we looking? How we looking? Oh, cool. So we're just stacked. Awesome. Love that for us. We've lost nothing. Great.
POI on the map.
Double green weapons. Pete's poor.
And defended by the hands of Peterbot.
These tabs?
They need these tags, right? They're very far behind.
Yeah, I can't imagine them having much surge to their names because it was both Peterbot and Cold that were in the fights that got taken down. Ritual was the one.
Bro, only 6 splashes, 3 bigs? Bro, Pete's so poor, man. It's over. Wrap it up. Let's just go game 2.
Takes away too far from their actual game plan, because if you know and watch a lot of Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual as a team, they do rotate towards the west, the north, the south. They do fight deep in the zone, box to box, and that's how they usually get a lot of their storm surge. It's just how easy is it actually going to be no longer having that mythic Sentinel pump, so no more one-shot potential coming out of Peterbot.
I can only imagine someone's first time watching competitive Fortnite, and you see someone like Peterbot swinging that fast, that gold rush effect really changing the dynamic of the game. He was
Wait, thank you, Midi. What's up, dude?
That good stuff before.
Hey, doing, Midi? Thanks, 51 man.
Plays out as the game starts.
What's up, chat? Appreciate y'all. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be talking too much or too loudly today. My voice is still very much recovering.
One of the
I'll be good for group 2 and 3 though.
The region here now paired up with Bryce. I think Bryce is gonna bring a lot of experience, a lot of veteranship to this squad here, and this is something that they can absolutely take advantage of right now. I'm curious though. I don't know the dynamic of who's the shot caller.
Bryce, definitely Bryce. Yeah, definitely Bryce. Yeah,
Kanata, right? Because Kanata
most definitely Bryce
specifically mentioned, hey, you know, I can't worry about trying to improve myself while leading, you know, a team, right? It seems like he wants to kind of take a step back from being the leader of a squad. So I am curious.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have a lot of those kind of questions answered throughout the course of the day as we tune in.
Yeah, there's the fake Kings as well. It's the nightmare in NA with the teams now. Yeah,
just trying to get some damage.
They called with the Prime
west of Flooded Frogs, and if you looked at the drop map, obviously things can change before game 1.
Ooh, Pete, wait a second.
Around this area,
oh my god.
Frogs, a little bit towards the west, a little bit towards the
Pete
south.
called Ritual fighting someone.
Contested fights that had the most congestion overall. But back on over to Crime City. Somebody's trying to enter in and pick up scraps, but they run into Peterbot.
This is great surge for Pete. This is really good surge for Pete.
How active they actually are, but since they got taken down early, that put
get
a
him
stop
cold.
to their game plan, slowed them down just a little bit. But they're really trying to take all these opportunities and take these fights while they can, especially with the zone pulling further and further away, which means there's not many opportunities for third parties, but there is one.
See how clean Cold was with it, cutting off the team there. Almost caught the double edit on Mississippi on the low ground there.
Oh, Pete's going to try and drop someone down with the gold rush effect.
That's what Peterbot's doing as he ran through.
How do we...
Control. And just as I'm about to call the piece, he was way ahead of him. And this is what Peterbot does best.
I thought no way that works on the drop down. Especially not on the third floor. Wow.
Really make a difference, and look at how quickly...
Bro, they just panicked. I'm not going to lie. This team definitely just panicked.
It's the first elimination. He's warming up. Peterbot's coming online. Cold just off the
like
chase,
Pete's crazy, but like we cannot be getting dropped down there.
Again, and that's the second elimination. Almost max mats outside the rarity of their
well. Oh, OG's coming in. OG versus Pete. Here we go. Two Titans. A battle of the ages.
They heard the noise, but that's the thing. Do you really want a third party, a team like Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual, if they even know it's them?
They don't think it's Pete. I guarantee they don't think it's Pete because they don't have the medallion. I 100% will put anything on the fact that OG doesn't know this is Pete.
But look at the HP count. They seem a little bit desperate for a potential siphon.
Pete does usually have visual, has anonymous mode off though, and they did just get kills. So maybe OG thinks it's Pete, but
a little bit. I'm hoping they at least came prepared, especially with how long they've actually been in the zone, but they're going to be the first to disengage.
Because everyone in this lobby is just going to expect that Pete had the medallion. Unless they were paying attention to the map and saw the train went past, maybe.
Taking a senseless fight like this deep into the zone might not be the most fruitful, so they're going to make their way over to Black Market, and you're seeing just a quick replay. He sits down one player, even while having to reload. His teammates drop him into the box. Peterbot goes back to back, and it goes to shoot. Goes to show that
it's not the tier one. Thank you, Baron.
It's the player that makes the loot.
Yeah, the difference before that is when he walked into that low ground area, he was putting cones down. He was already, you know, again, 2 steps ahead of the
he didn't look that laggy at all, actually, Muzz.
He broke that floor. Bam, he made the
I didn't hear any pros complain about lag either, but...
But let's jump in with Swappy, Slate, and Zemo here. So they've already lost a teammate. It seems like this is a huge setback for them right now, but... You know, trying to get their
Pete has Anon on.
Competition. Now, this is a team that has won a game in a final setting before, so don't count them out.
Shadow Curve tile looking good. So who got trained then? So it went through Crime City. Visuals didn't get it. Lone Wolf was fighting. So did Brutal Boxcars get it? Did Edgy get trained? Wait, you telling me Edgy got trained? My boy. Oh my God, Wedgie, let's go.
Best, I would say. He's been rooting for, you know, the likes of Shadow Curve, Tyler, but specifically Shadow for a long time. I have as well. We've seen him grow so much as a player, and he's only continued to trend upward. So this could be another break.
Is actually good metal in there? Is that metal good?
Up the overall standings here as a prominent player for NA.
Emilio with the prime.
Player from NA, Cease. I would like to see, is he one of
mid? I mean, I guess it's metal, so it's like shit ton of on there. Really, you don't see a lot of people fully farm it out, which is kind of weird.
But he's kind of pairing himself up with some new and younger talent, Preston and Joe, and they've actually been pretty well, pretty consistent. Watching C's perform, they're obviously not the most aggressive team out of the gates, but they play towards their teamwork play style. They get surged, they slowly work their way up
not me happy about that.
But shots like that is a little bit of that inexperience coming out because
there's Edgy chance and scare.
He's just simply trying to get a little bit more materials, but those materials you don't necessarily need. He takes some damage, forced to race resources, but that's the learning experience.
Is Joe Batman Joe? Yeah, Batman Sin Joe.
Talk about teams that are
Murky with the prime
action here. Sigma, Becky, and Boone right now.
Yeah, crazy in this game, Chad. He's dropping on the bridge.
Safe zone. They're looking to use that storm to their advantage right now, forcing a trio back in to rotate further and further around. Is very well executed for them. Things are going to settle here, but little plays like that allow you to claim that territory. Meanwhile, what is happening here? Jace is chasing
51 Cole.
Of champs here, and the wall was
not a great edit.
Ready for the taken here. Madden V jumps on in. The full aggro play here, the commitment, if you will, from this trio.
Yo, Tez, thanks for 5 gifted, homie. 65 down now. Thank you, dude.
Wipe up there.
Thanks, guys. 172 subs. I love your chat. Thank you.
Here, but they're a little too late to the party.
And Jace, Madden, trio just really had no choice. You saw kind of the reason why they were pushing into that fight in the first
Bryce and Osted. I don't see G money though. Where's the G monster?
The most resources and materials, so they were able to pick that up even while taking shots from that third party of Bryce. Osid, and G.
Oh, there he is.
And now they're going to let the dust settle a little bit, get all their loot, get their health back up, and start to formulate what that
Ooh,
next
that's looking
strategy
pretty
is.
good.
But luckily for them, you can kind of see here from Encrypted, Stacks, and Death on their screen, the zone is going to pull towards the south. So not a lot of rotation for the teams that have been realistically rotating the whole game with it pulling towards the north as far as it has.
Definitely a far pull for the likes of that trio, but Dev, Stacks, and Encrypted, one of the teams coming down to the pump power. We're going to be earlier to the catch here.
Would you agree that you see so many more mistakes here than EU Group 1? No, EU Group 1 just played way too passive, bro, which would be the overall mistake. EU played way too scared to start off game 1. They all just died to Surge.
Again, this is off to a very fast start, right?
Oh my god, Wedgie.
You'll see much more higher player count numbers, but
6 below. Come on, Wedgie. We're center map on the mountain. Come on. Come on, show us the OG aim. Come on. Give us that boomer aim. Edgy is the most experienced player in this lobby with 20 FNCS finals. Edgy does have experience, that's for sure.
Edgy is here. We talked about OGs, right? Like Cease. Edgy is definitely one of them, and he's taking that very standard approach, right? High ground, big storm tower, right? And just fishing for tags here with this trio.
Yeah, this is almost like that very early strategy over towards brutal boxcars, especially
We did get the train though. We did get the train. This is looking good. Come on.
Across the mountains, there's a lot of loot up there as well, including the brutal boxcars where you get your loot and your metal.
Come on,
really
chat.
Have not had to move far from this situation.
We love Edgy.
But with most of the teams really not having to rotate, you see why they're struggling when it comes to
I need to talk a little bit quieter.
Only 18 below, still juggling.
I'm coughing way more than during EU.
Opportunity and targets down below, but they have to be careful. As Edgy quickly becomes the target. Zone after zone, though, Monster. Since about Zone 3, Storm Surge has affecting a lot of the teams and really dictating some of their gameplay.
What the fuck?
Yeah, look at this. Storm Surge now getting
Wait,
active.
both these teams need Surge. Wait, this is a Surge versus Surge fight. What the fuck?
This is a big power play for them.
Oh, Joe goes down. Wedgie.
Get their footing, but not for long.
W Wedgie.
The shots come out. Joe falls first. Cease severely damaged by another trio that sees what's going on here. And Edgy, Chance, and Scar somehow get their bearings put right back under them.
This is not good, though. Storm Surge is still active. About 7 seconds. Cease needs the hill. It's his only shot. Just too little, too late, though. He goes down. Preston follows. Full duo.
Nice. 3 limbs, all of them on Edgy, baby. Let's go. That's my goat. That's my goat. With the blue outlaw putting in pain.
So if you weren't able to get eliminations or any of that placement points just yet, you're really going to start to count those games because they're going to go pretty quick today.
I was gonna say, and how lucky for Edgy, Chance, and Scare.
Yeah, Cease versus Edgy, 2 of the OGs, bro.
The surge, right? That was a very desperate play by them, but so did Edgy's team. They were the
Yo, Rex, thanks for the 50 months, bro. 50 months, Rex. I appreciate you, homie. Hope you're doing well, man.
Look at this. When it all kicked off, they were actually below for a second there, and then the tag that changed it all for Edgy here. Edgy really putting up the numbers here, gets the final one, lets the Surge do the rest, and just like that, rewarded for his efforts.
Mythic pump for what? Give it Edgy? That's what I'm saying, bro. Edgy hitting the shots. Nah, Scare's crazy. Super young controller player, man. Scare's insane.
Below Surge for a couple of seconds before that fight even happened. Minish, braids, and visuals. Big fight off spot.
We're gonna have to make this game count. I'm not gonna lie.
Because of them getting those 2 eliminations, that actually opened up a lot of space in the early game where they're not gonna run into the likes of Peterbot and Cold.
This team is gonna have an interesting day. I'm not sure what Pete's gonna do next game. Maybe triple drop the server room. I actually don't know what Pete's gonna do differently. Pete might triple drop Cry. I don't know.
Yeah, I love to see Ghost Splashes come out there for the rotate, but Oliver, OG, Larson, and Pen after a close call.
Ooh, let's go, OG. Getting active.
Get to the zone. They find themselves a refresher right on the
It does
edge.
look a little bit laggy, which is weird, Threats, because EU wasn't laggy at all.
Wonderfully positioned for them now, as they'll have the extra.
Oh, Pete's just stacked his shit. Never mind, probably just win this fucking game. Wait, what? How is this the? Okay, whatever. Whatever. No, how is this our loot after dying? Like, how did 2 of our players die on spawn, and this is our loot? Like, what do you mean, bro? What do you mean?
No one committing big material here to look up and over these trees. Instead, basing
we're buying the reboot and then having the black market. I guess it just doesn't matter as long as one of you survives.
To see where the zone's gonna pull. If someone can
so what, Threats, do you think he's going to try to not win so he can grief visuals throughout the day? Well, actually, that strategically makes sense, actually. Pete now has a reason to want to not qual.
And team
If he's worried about Grands, he's going to want to try to make Visuals not quell now. You're right, Threads. That is very interesting. Interesting.
Sometimes even further down, depending on who else is in the lobby.
Let's see how that plays out.
232 above the damage threshold. This is a team, if I feel like they're going to make it in to the FNCS finals through this group, I feel like it is going to be mostly through consistency, but they found a slower rotation of the zone. You see how many teams they've separated and pushed farther and further away, so they don't have to take fights like this. But Larson, Enpin, Oliver OG, another new trio to this group, making it this
Donnie
far.
versus OG. This is two good teams.
Above that damage threshold. They're trying to be very, very proactive because they don't want to be one of the teams that's below the threshold, forced to rotate through these merming zones where they don't really have too much control over their rotations.
Early use of the chug jug there to go in and put Larson right back off into some decent health territory for this final.
Recon Ritual right there in the middle.
They're gonna need a refresh shortly.
Oh, who's getting hit by Surge?
Surge once again now.
Oh, bad pull for Edgy.
Damage across the lobby. Meanwhile, Edgy, Chance, and Scare got a long way to go, and they're tagging players in the distance as opposed to making
danger of the prime.
While everyone else is, and it's time to get going.
Ooh, Chance has the mythic Sentinel pump. That means he had to have got it or snatched it out of somebody's hand. I didn't really see Visual Braids or a Minish go down, so that's a big grab for them to be able to get.
Chance is stacked.
And you can see the opportunity, the risk they've taken up into this with 3 eliminations, how much it's bolstered their loadout. But while everybody's rotating on the low ground, there's one team emerging.
Oh, poor OG, man.
Oh, no.
Oh, poor N10, bro. No, OG, hold it down, son. Hold it down.
OG is next. Throughout the game, seeing them, I had such nice thoughts.
Ooh, Taki on the high ground. Here we go. This team was supposed to be con, now uncon.
Feels bad because
it's definitely a team that could 100% win this game.
Now, it's just unavoidable in these types of games. Well, let's not forget what's on the line here. It's a ride straight to the grand finals if you get this victory out. SU, Taki, and Vert going for the high ground here early in this round. We talked about if whether or not Magic Mosses was gonna be even worth building up this high.
And tag?
As you can see, things are starting to get leveled out. Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual taking a much different approach here, saying, you know what, we're content with this low ground. We're going to play down here.
Ooh, nice rotate.
Refreshers here. And they have so much mats to work with right here. Big 4 eliminations, leading at the front side of zone. Jacob, I mean, it's just textbook right now.
Yeah, this is looking like a recipe for success. Even with Ishao, Taki, and Vert on the
Ooh,
high
Creon
ground,
goes down.
this
Hispanic boys.
a feeling of deja vu. Different trio. They had N-Pen on their team, but this is almost a very, very similar situation. It was a battle on high ground.
Oh yeah, Visuals team could win this, and like they're gonna need to, man.
Visuals, a Minish, they're getting sprayed, target on the other side. Even pre-edits trying to come in, but they're able to hold on to their place. Not really let those players advance into their
Minish said Brace and Visual need to make the most out of this game.
Minish, 2 empty slots, no extra heals. The big thing for them, though, is that Storm Surge. 554 above the damage threshold. This means they have to solely focus on their rotations.
Yeah, that was the last of their heals right there. This is a very desperate end game now starting to take place. Noticing Cold's team takes a little bit of damage here for jumping in.
Bro, Cold is just trying to get in, man.
The finish is there.
Oh, nice, Cold. 7 elims.
Come ups for Cold there. But all right, the wide
Edgy on second height. Let's go.
The overall visual, if you will, of this game here. 7 eliminations now for Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual. Peterbot facing the damage.
Oh, it's gonna be Pete versus Visuals on the low ground. No.
Like they never left.
Oh no.
Here it is, breaking on in through the walls.
And Visuals is not looking too healthy. Oh fuck no. Well. Oh, Pete's gonna be really happy if you can see the names.
They're just working beautifully
well,
in unison here on the low ground.
Looks like they're gonna have to thug it out the next 4 games on Spawn against Pete.
On the high ground, though, no contestation so far.
It'll be a fun one.
Team. They're starting to run low on the material count. I'm not sure if they're going to have what it takes, Jacob, to ride it through to the end if they don't find a refresh.
Edgy! Oh my god, Wedgie takes down Pete. That's my boy. Oh my god, W Wedgie.
But nobody's had a chance. There might be one on the side, Sigma, Desi over there, but they're the ones that are getting.
Wait, we have to give up Pete. Oh my god, Edgy actually got him killed. Edgy's the counter. Who would have known?
Going to become the targets as Taki gets the elimination. Runs to the backside of zone.
Wait, they just killed. Wait, they just killed Cold as well. What the fuck?
It's up to Ritual.
Oh my god.
As a solo.
Umps the counter.
Cost him a couple mats here, but hey, he's got control of this low ground layer. Can Ritual pull through in the end here? This is a very difficult.
Solid clutch for Richie. Come on, Richie. This is your chance, bro.
Full victory solo dolo, but nonetheless, the points are starting to rack up here as he's still remaining in the game.
Yo, Richie, who we feeling like? Richie, I'm loving it, but like, bruh, I don't know if that was the play. I'm loving the confidence, but
Just went for everything. He just went for it all, trying to move up, but he finally gets taken down.
Oh, Death's going for it, though. Damn, Death takes the high ground.
Some of them are stuck as duos. Some of them are stuck as
Come on, Death.
solos, as Encrypted just gets
What
chopped
the
down to a
fuck is
sliver
going
of
on up
HP.
here?
Death goes down altogether. Stacks is the only one here, and he's got overtaken by high ground. Vert said, nah. You may have taken it for a moment, but this throne is ours. But he gets kneecapped to the tree.
Stacks, what is going on high ground, bro? What is this shit show? Vert's literally popping meds in zone to fight this, bro. What is going on? Is Aviv gonna get the free win? Aviv gets the free win. It's Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ wins. Wait, they just win. Aviv just got delivered the freest fucking win in the history of Fortnite. Maybe? Or yes, definitely yes. There's no way they lose this. Jesus Christ to grands, baby. Jesus Christ to grands. Oh my god, Age just made it through in group.
For Skittles, Chimp,
oh
and
my
Aviv.
god.
I thought it was consistency.
Well,
they want to have the rest of the day off, Monster. They get to watch
all right,
the
chat.
rest of Group
We're gonna
One
make
go
we gotta
by.
make the first V-Buck giveaway cheese. If you guys want to win some V-Bucks, type the word cheese in chat. C-H-E-E-S-E cheese. The big cheese, baby. The big cheese, our first team in grands. So chat, if you guys haven't done my V-Buck giveaways before, we're doing them after every set lobby game for the rest of FNCS, which is like, at this point, I did the math today. I can't remember how many it is. It's a lot of fucking giveaways though. So you type the word in chat, it's a Nightbot giveaway. Everyone has the same chance of winning. Once you type it in, once you're entered, you have to type it in multiple times. We draw the winners and then we DM you the code on Twitch. So super easy. Super easy. No emails, no logins, no weird shit. Just you get DM the code. Nice and easy.
It did, MDF, and I gotta say, this game felt very.
All right, we're running the new prediction chat. We're taking the Aviv off it.
The competition. I mean, to see someone like Peterbot and kind of
the Almond, Skeeter, Guacamole Man, Rodpunk, Bob, Heck, Minty, Ecliptic, Danger, Course, Luke. Thanks for the subs, chat. If I miss any subs, I'm sorry. Thank you so much for the follows and the subs. And the subs on YouTube. Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
And this is a trio we had no doubt, or at least I didn't have any doubt in my mind that they were going to be making.
Oh yeah,
it
this is a top 5 team for sure.
Finals. Aviv, Skittles,
we're one off, chat. We got one off the board. Let's go, baby.
Trio that we have here, 47 finals appearances out of the 3 of them.
Did I take them off?
It just
Am I
looked
blind?
like it was kind of a normal day for
Did
them.
I?
Vivid on
No, there we go. I was about to say, there's no way I took them off. I was like,
destroy
what?
each other on height. Well, they just had an easy breezy way in.
That's gonna be one of those classics, right, for Fortnite. Everybody kind of going up, fighting over the high ground, and then there's that full health.
All right, 10 more seconds, chat. We'll call the cheese giveaway.
You guys have done all the work for us. Oh, thanks. Yeah, we'll go ahead and go to the finals for this major right here. But yeah, I mean, Chim, Skittles, Aviv, so much experience.
Really appreciate y'all, chat. Thank you for tuning in.
Surprised to see them.
Sorry, my voice is a little bit fucked today, but I really appreciate the vibes. Thank you.
That does mean that we do have a POI opening up on that west side of the map. With it being the group stages, there is just only so much that we can predict because these trios.
Chip reaction on Twitter. Let's go.
As the games do go on, now moving from 33 trios now to 32 trios.
This is going to be very spicy now, though.
Trio already punching their ticket into the finals.
Yeah, that's gotta feel really good just to get it out of
the way. Are you sure? I can't see it from Chim.
That's it for everyone.
Who uploaded it?
Right, with only 4 games left to go, we need a victory royale, or we need to make sure we end the day in the top 5 of placements to secure our spot in the finals. For now,
wait, Chim did upload it. Wait, why couldn't I see it? Did I go? Does Chim have an old Twitter or something?
Wait, chop. No! Oh my god, come on, baby! Stop playing team! Oh my god, I just pieced every fucking N-word in.
Go up!
Well, Fortnite, being Fortnite. Fortnite kids being Fortnite kids. Yeah, not too bad, Dad. I'm sounding a bit better. It's weird. My voice sounds better, but I feel worse. I think it's because I'm using my voice more, which I shouldn't be doing, but it's fine. 4 games to go. And then I got tomorrow off. I'm just going to go back to just watching it on Twitch. It's so much less laggy that way. All right, so our leaderboard after game number 1, we have So we have Aviv winning it. Then we have Taki, Death, Ritual, Sigma, and Josh. Ooh. Bit of an underrated one here for Josh. And Sigma a little bit less underrated, but Josh causes a Magma. That's a very underrated placement so far. Muzz turned 20 today. He did, bro. The big 2-0. Muzz is no longer a teenager. He's old and washed. I can't believe it was Edgy. Edgy put a stop to Peterbot in the end game. Crazy, bro. W. I don't know what those words mean, Riptides. I have a Shure SM7B on a Go XLR, though. Are you radical? Alright, Tower. Turn my face off when they come back because they're going to show Leaderboard do a quick run now. Let me just heat up some food real quick. I'm trying to space out, like, the food and drinks so I can get my voice going. One sec.
I don't know about y'all, but I was jamming to that track there. That was a good one. It was a good one. Welcome back to the FNCS. We got done with game number 1, but we still have 4 games left to go. Let's talk about game number 1. It was chaotic. All right. Let's just start with Peterbot and his trio, right? To kind of set the tone of this is not what we expected, right? We kind of expected them to kind of just come out and maybe win game number 1, Kelly, and then to see them in the situation they were with the loadouts that they had, and then finally to be left Ritual by himself. Tough.
First of all, at the start of the show, I said that they might not win game 1, so don't throw my hat into the ring of thinking that this is how things were going to go. I predicted this no, not exactly, but Ritual coming out with the clutch there. Of course, we got the reboot coming out for both Cold and Peterbot. Kind of wish we got to see a little bit earlier. I'm excited to actually rewatch that game again to see what exactly happened at the start, but being able to convert a rough start into a good middle and late game is what really makes or breaks this trio here.
I mean, you would imagine that, like, you take it out and you're like, oh, well, they didn't win the game. Maybe it's because they had to go ahead and get like a double reboot up, but they actually recovered very, very well from that, right? But it's just going to be that stylistic thing for this trio where it's like, yeah, even though they're going to be in a good spot, like towards the end game right there on the low ground, when they had like 100+ builds each after they just picked up a couple of refreshes, they continue to fight, right? Like, that's just how they like to play. It's obviously going to be risky, but it's also one of those type of things that's like, hey, listen, even if we're in a good spot, we care about one thing and one thing only. That's going to be pretty much just making sure the lobby always feels their presence. They know they're going to make it to finals. Why not just keep going for more and more eliminations? And unfortunately for them, though, Edgy, Scare, and Chance on the other side of this were able to fend them off.
But still, getting 9 eliminations and having Ritual being able to survive until 7th place there is still able to get them those points. There is not any worry in my mind, or I think anyone's, that they're not going to get either a victory royale today or be able to be in our top 5. And currently they are in 3rd place through consistency, mostly due to going down in 7th place there. Of course, though, we saw Taki, Isho, and Vert having a pretty good time holding high ground from really earlier on, around 8th zone right there, and being able to kind of control it all the way till the very end, grabbing 7 eliminations as well. But of course, Death's trio currently sitting in 3rd, and then, as I said, Peterbot's trio in 4th.
Yeah, and when it comes down to the Death Trio, right, we saw Stacks putting on quite a showing towards the top of the dojo there, towards the higher ground, right? Jacob was going crazy talking about how Stacks was not going to go down without a fight. And be like, well,
yeah, that high ground fight was crazy, bro.
On the low ground. I'm not sure Stacks worked his way up, though, at high ground for a little bit there himself. But unfortunately, on the receiving end of it, right, Vert not being too interested in giving it up for free either.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a back and forth there between Stacks and Vert, a fight for the solos on height, but you can only do so much as a solo player when there is a lot of other players in the lobby kind of gunning for you.
Yeah, unfortunately running out of
Imagine
mats
Pete not
as well,
making
right?
grands.
Just a
Ooh, I
difficult
don't know about that,
situation
man.
to be in. Again, that game one was just so
I just don't know if they're going to get
unbelievably
Richie to
chaotic.
triple drop.
I'm kind of curious to see how we all bounce
I'm very
back
interested to see how
for game
Pete
number
plays this. I
2,
really
'cause,
hope they watch it.
Yeah, I just expected this to go so differently.
I mean, I think that there's a lot of opportunities. We still have 4 more games here for these trios to kind of figure out how they want to play out the play-in, or not the play-ins, I'm sorry, the group stages. And honestly, this isn't too much of a surprise to see how different it is from the play-ins. We knew that the play-ins were going to be ultra aggressive, and obviously there's only really one chance for these teams to be able to make it into the global
Why'd
championships.
Richie go for the clip? There is a chance that Richie was deliberately selling there, I'm not going to lie.
Towards the end for those 3 final
Like Chris was
teams we'll
just
be
saying,
figuring out
Pete's
next
going to want to
week,
try to
but
grief
for
visuals
me,
for the rest of
Vivid,
this
I
group
still
now.
think that there's plenty of opportunities for these teams to kind of change things up for games 2 through 5.
Oh yeah, 100%, right? And we're only playing 5 games today, and off of the first one right there, Oliver, OG, N-Pen, and Larson kind of keeping themselves in contention right there. 8th place, still close to the top of the leaderboard right there. Unfortunately, though, right, we kind of saw N-Pen on the receiving end of what will probably find its way into a Peterbot highlight reel, because it was absolutely insane. I feel so sorry, N-Pen, but that was a little crazy. And we saw Oliver at one point was like, oh, let me back away from that one real quick. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of the story for a lot of these trios, right? Just go ahead and keep yourselves in the contention, right? Top 5 on the consistency leaderboard. And of course, some of these top teams will actually steal those spots away. One thing that Zeke always likes to mention.
It's very possible. I'm hoping to see, and I love that you also kind of highlight that Peterbot is just wanting to make himself known in this lobby, right? Because I'm sure for everyone else, Kelly, they're probably thinking, why don't you guys just win game number 1? Just go ahead and go into finals. Let us play the game. Let us have fun, because they are just disrupting everyone else.
I mean, when you take into consideration we don't have any more Div 1 Cups, they're not going to be playing in groups 2 and 3, this might be the best opportunity they have to get some kind of scrims in, some practice before the Major 2 finals.
Game number 2 is all but here. Listen,
Chat, Pete is fighting visuals for the server room down here.
Lowground had some highlights.
So visuals killed Pete and Cole to start off that game. So
games, 1 down.
if visuals is trying to claim that and he's saying he wants to claim it in grands, then Pete's now going to make it his group's mission to grief
Game number
visuals.
2 is ready. So once again, let's jump back on over to MDF and Jacob PR for game 2.
Don't worry, Zeke, we got you. No need to panic just yet. It's game number 1, and Monster, that was just a little
So Pete
taste
might now
of what
deliberately
we're
try
gonna
to
see
not qualify
throughout
to
the
make
day
sure he
here
can make
today.
sure Visuals
If
doesn't
anybody
qualify.
thinks a competition like this with so
It's a
much
pretty
on the
common
line is gonna
strategy
be
in these
easy,
sort of
you got
formats,
another
if
thing
you're good
coming.
enough to pull it off.
Yeah, no,
We'll
there
see.
wasn't a single moment in that round, at least from what we saw in the broadcast, where there was no action on
Yeah,
the
Retro,
scene.
thanks for
From
Prime
the
17,
beginning
dude.
to the very end, the pace was set, and it was set pretty darn high. I'm looking forward to seeing how this is going to play out. And then looking back at it, Aviv, Skittles, and Chimp, the most finals appearances when it comes down to the combination of appearances in the trio. So congrats to them. Let's go watch game number 2 though now.
Oh, he doesn't want to try and win grands though. Wait, what? Bro, he wants to win grands. That's why he'll grief
where
them.
we left off,
Because he wants
Jacob,
to win grands that he'll grief
game
them.
2, right? The pace, the stage, it's truly been set. We know that Crime City already is going to be one of those places that we want to see what's going to end up happening here. N-Pen and crew got a little taste of what happens when you rotate a little too closely to Peterbot and company. So I'm super curious to see how this is going to ultimately play out. But in the end, though, one team down, more spots open up, and this starts to give the atmosphere a little bit more room.
Oh, so Visuals, there you go. Wait.
Peterbot and Ritual,
The team conning Visuals left, so Visuals now going full Foxy, and Pete's going full server farm. Well, there we go. Visual pulled off.
Those tricks will work, Monster. They'll work the
But
first time, but after that,
does Pete
that's where it
now
gets
key
tougher
visuals?
and
That is the
tougher
question.
to pull off those tricks from underneath.
Oh
your
boy.
sleeve. They're just gonna go over to their regular.
This
drop,
might be even
play
worse
things
for
out
Visuals.
like
Because now they can get
usual.
the train and then come
The
back.
fight that we saw get kind of very prolonged out in game number 1. It's just one of those situations when you kind of split it up like they're doing
This
here.
could be
There's
really
a lot
bad
of
for
barrels.
Visuals.
There's a good amount of shields that you can possibly access. So you're not gonna just straight 50-50. So you want to take all the time in the world to actually get yourself ready for a fight in this situation. But the longer it takes, the harder it's going to be to come back from the situation, no matter who wins the actual fight.
Yeah, for all the drops, Lone Wolf is definitely one of my favorite to have landed at so far in the season. But for Jeff, Skater, and Higher, though, it's a matter of course, getting situated before things start to cook up. We already noticed that other teams are inevitably...
Yeah, Lone Wolf fights drag out for way too long.
They've gotten all the information they need. Meanwhile, you know what they're going after? It's the goodies from the tree,
Kimby.
of course. Jacob, I mean, talk to me about why this is a significant pickup for Peterbot, Cole, and Ritual.
I mean, the biggest thing is the guaranteed mythic Sentinel buff. I think might be the only weapon in the game that has that one-shot potential. And then you put it in Peterbot's hands, and you wonder why he is so dangerous in those situations. There's a ton of gold that they're able to get, and the medallion. This is going
to
gold rush.
Bro, they haven't even stepped into Crime City yet. Well, Ritual has, but like, bro, it's insane how much loot they get.
Whether you're watching an open round, a divisional cup, he puts himself in those 1v3 situations to start the fight, knowing his teammates will back him up.
That unstoppable medallion, of course, the prime pickup for the team. Continuing the action.
Oh, we still got the double fight at Mars Meadows, though.
People didn't learn their lesson in game number 1 here at the
So who was
Mars
conning
Meadows
Visuals? Where did they go? Visuals getting conned by Speedy and Doxy.
A little different,
Okay.
though. It seems like both teams have taken a little bit more time to situate their loadouts before deciding to clash with one another.
Yeah, I feel like it's another one of those lone wolf situations, but Mars Meadows is just a little bit bigger, so in theory, you can split the...
Doxy landed Dojo game 1? Oh, so Visuals went there when there was no one. Foxy, he was trying to claim that end, Foxy. That's ballsy. Very ballsy.
Multiple times to really replenish a lot of the resources that you may or may not have in that situation.
I didn't see the kin stat. What, Pete did over 550 more damage than anyone else in game 1. Disgusting, bro. Disgusting.
There's a lot going on here.
Yo, what's up, Taco? Thanks, 2 for 11. Thanks, Taco. I appreciate it.
Took a brief moment to see what's
Taco, you going to Pro-Am? I don't know if you're allowed to say.
It is fully collapsing now, and hey,
I don't know if they're sending the whole broadcast team.
Early for a reason. We knew there were going to be another team rotating in. The last game showed us that that was the case, and this time they make their way here even faster. So Jeff Skater and Higher here have a lot to fight for.
Lavish is so toxic. Yeah, I really thought like Poyo conning clicks might be okay. Only because if they can get clicks to leave, but if no one leaves, this is such a shit show. Like, this looks like one of the most miserable spawn fights. I got mad shit talk though for saying that Veno contesting Malabuga here made no sense because just no one wins. But it's such a bad job to contest if the other team doesn't leave. Oh my god, let's go Taco! Oh my god, I get to get tacos with Taco.
Spray the covers, get them to waste the materials. That might be an entry point into a fight like this.
Yeah, notice they're scrapping.
What's up, Cookie Boss?
Low ground for anything that they can get, just to go ahead and give them that little edge, trying to counteract the fact that they don't have mats. But just a quick highlight: how do we get
KP to the 2 over 9?
Things started to devolve for the other team.
They do Vengeful. That music we can hear is exactly what the players can hear. Unfortunately, it is very annoying.
Now it is just
I know, Taco. I know. I'm so excited for the good Mexican food. We got some good food in Australia, but Mexican is not one of them, unfortunately.
And have spooked one another before the fight actually began.
It's sort of a blessing for that solo though, because instead of them being able to chase him down, Skater higher
go,
Jeff
get in.
had to go down below, get the vault. That other trio disengaged on out, so that's at least
When a team's built for Pro-Am on the 15th, bro. On the 15th, man.
Teammates back into the game. Yes,
Oh, I need to make that tweet actually. Did they respond to me and tell me I should make it today?
But all you need is a chance at some points. As we switch it on over towards Seaport, Braids visual in a minute, taking a whole different rotation this time around. They weren't able to get to 2 eliminations on Peterbot and Cold, which means at this point in the game compared to last, they are lacking some Storm Surge.
Look at this, Diminished Visuals Braids rotating to the Seaport City now. Little splash effect comes out.
Oh, nice Cookie. Hope you had a good time, bro. Oh, it's crazy, Taco. You're in for a... Yeah, I'm so excited to watch on Group 2. I was going to say tomorrow, but... Oh, Visuals has gone into Seaport.
Tough situation here as they have the low ground, but fully committing the kneecapper, allowing them to get that bit of high ground there, taking full advantage of the benefits of the speed and the extra height that you get from it. And look at this, that team fully going for the high ground position now. What do you think happens here after they get this damage? Is it time to disengage, move on?
Yeah,
scared of the aura? Yeah, I genuinely think Visuals is trying to get out of Foxy as quick as possible.
Come immediately out of the gates, but it's just too risky to continue to fight against that much of an elevation difference. You saw them trading shots.
What is going on here? Is this 4 teams? 4 teams at Mars Meadows. 5 teams? I don't even know. Holy shit. 5 teams at Mars Meadows. Okay, why not?
Just in time to see the second one picked up, and this is a prime example of what we're talking about, the different vault fights. You're not able to win it. You're not able to loot it fast enough. The third parties come in, especially Bryce, G-Money, and OSID, uncontested at Hopeful Heights. They're going to waste no time getting what they need.
For the Peterbot haters, though, Visuals making grands and potentially pulling off that play a few times in grands could be the difference between Pete winning and not. So the Peterbot haters got a lot to cheer for here with trying to get Visuals into grands.
Okay, and Chimps here for Champs. Champs got most of the control, but do notice seems like the storm is inevitably going to start forcing this team to rotate here shortly.
One thing I almost
You're a
want
criminal.
to
He's 5 and 6,
note
dude.
here for a quick second, and you see Oliver and Larson in this fight, and you're wondering, how did they even get on this side of the map? But remember, Aviv, Skittles, and Chimp qualified to the finals, opened up Outlaws Oasis. Oliver, OG, Larson, and Pen were the ones that tried to take that open drop spot, but they find themselves in a peculiar situation, 2v3. Zone is now covering up, so even though it is a one tick, it at least puts them on the clock. I see only one splash of HP in Larson's inventory. Not sure what...
No, Braid's on 0 ping now, which does give that team a big buff. Braid's now 0 ping, and he did really well on the solo cache yesterday on the 0 ping.
Starting to come out now. That's going to give them that enhanced pickaxe effect to notice, and it's just going down.
Oh, we're
right
in.
Now. There is nothing you can do. They have the extra man advantage, and that alone is going to make all the difference when you have that gold splash effect. That gold rush effect is just so powerful in the right hands, and you know, unfortunately, the right hands is any pro player, as you can see. On the other
Joji.
side, though,
Joji on the moon.
This is very reminiscent of that last major. I remember Muzz's team taking a victory from here.
Oh, that zone was hilarious.
Ground position.
When the zone just pulled to the bridge and kept bouncing on the bridge, Muzz just got the freest win of all time.
I was hoping we get a little bit of a replay here, but it does pull off of the bridge. The rest of the lobby doesn't necessarily have to rotate into Prom, Donnie, and Joji, but that's still going to give them an opportunity to kind of overlook a lot of area, a lot of distance that they're able to kind of see. You see all the way north towards Demon's Dojo. A lot of the teams you saw in game 1 having to rotate south this times around. And that's Tony's team.
That pump team.
Noisy. That was one of the teams that we saw rotate north that they can
Prom FV, yeah.
Storm Surge on. And you see they might have that same idea.
Crazy leaning into the memes at this point, bro.
Crouching,
I respect it.
Keep their positions hidden so they can maybe do a sneak attack if they rotate over.
Yes, it's very nicely set up, I would say. You know, the ambush is looking pretty good, and of course Joji's got that information, right? He can download it, share it with his team here from the high ground, but those teams seem to have the senses that this might not be worth rotating on the outskirts. And Creo,
What's the meme?
Tony,
So if you haven't been following competitive Fortnite, Craze got dropped by Booga and Threads because he couldn't play the last week of Divisional Cups because he had to go to Prom.
G-Money here.
So he has now become Prom FV. We'll see.
I feel like
the FV is because he was usually Craze FV.
They were in the early game because they were able to get the armored truck, which means they're able to get.
You might notice he qualified from the first game of Group 1 last season. I didn't remember that.
Third party. So even if they
that was with Vert, right?
Which they were able to pick up to entering the fight at the very beginning of Mass Metals, but even if they didn't, they were still able to kind of accumulate a large amount of Storm Surge. Now, no matter where the zone pulls, they have that armored vehicle.
Oh, Seek, of course. Sorry, Seek. That's right. Seek G-Minosid. And then it was Vert G-Minosid for a little bit this season. Then they went to Kanata, then Bryce. I think. Sorry, you're right. Seek last season. Yeah.
Way back in the day when the vehicles during that start season were in the game, folks would box up their cars and use them to rotate and boost out with.
Why were those? Wait, why was that so satisfying? Why has Bryce got the goated 1x1s? What the fuck was that?
Opening up with that.
That was like the fastest 1x1 I've seen. That was like perfect stair placement. That was clean as shit.
Positioning here, a little mile in, they find Jersey and Mattis team
there. Bro, Myth walked so we could run, man. Holy shit.
In cash here in the tunnel. Looking for what seems to be
Seek Taki an issue now, yeah.
Just in my head, I'm like, please don't take the porta potty. Please don't. There's a whole team up above. And I'm pretty sure it's Edgy and Chance and Scare's team landing over towards Brutal. Maybe they went towards the south. It could be anybody at this point with how much rotation these teams were forced to make. But it is actually Brayify, Kaji's team. It's only 2 of those 3 members. You see Hazard in the distance.
Why does Seek always get dropped? I don't know, bro. He's such a good player, too.
More ground monster. They want to get as much Storm Surge as possible in these first couple of early zones, so that way they can purely focus on the rotation, getting themselves safe spots, so they don't have to fight for Storm Surge, which we both know is very, very risky.
Yeah, same thing we saw at Shining Span, right? Joji with the ultimate height, and then the teammates kind of playing the outskirts there, looking for rotators. It's definitely the right move. Talk about teams.
Oh, here we go. Pete, I wonder why Pete's over here near Foxy Floodgate.
Peterbot.
I wonder what Pete's doing rotating over here.
Tyler and Shadow.
Oh, no.
I'm not sure how they feel about it. They're like, yeah, it's time for us to go. The zone's already moving. Team's trying to get close. We don't want that action.
Well, Visual's down.
I would say this is definitely the right call here.
Visual's whole trio down. Damn.
Who'd
they go down to?
On their heels. Creo, Noisy, and Tony back to the Seaport City here. Fight finally starting to evolve outwards. And they seem to have just waited around. Okay, so if it wasn't...
The Oxide with the 68. 68 months. Thank you, bro.
So
appreciate you, homie.
all these very much experienced teams seem to just be singling out Salt 3X and the rest of his trio, and they get finished up pretty
Come on,
quickly
Tony.
here
Come
at
on,
the
I've been
Seaport
gassing you
City.
up. Come on.
Yeah, Noisy and them really
Ooh,
taking
Pete
that
versus
opportunity
Curve.
in
This is a good
stride. It was
fight.
just them two fighting.
Two of the better teams here for
Smiley
sure.
and his trio was able to take down Visuals, Braids in a minute. They
Oh,
crashed.
man,
They
unlucky
third
Salt.
party, proven to be a lot of success there as Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual find themselves at the edge of zone, box to box with Curve, Tyler, and Shadow. And it doesn't look like they're just trying to position safely and let the game pass them by. They're going to create this situation because this is typically how they get a lot
Shadow,
of their
Curve, and
storm
Tyler, a
surges.
good
Cold
fighting
and
team.
Tyler
We'll see.
continue to trade
This is
shots back and
one of the
forth.
better teams to try and put a
Both
fight
teams
up
actually
against Pete
accumulated a
here.
good amount of surge because of this fight.
Come on, Curve. Hold it down for control again. Come on.
Shadow
Show us what
still
you got.
has a couple splashes here to work with. They might need to start putting them into effect here to give them a little bit more of an advantage while they still have it. But
Come
the longer you
on.
wait, the more damage and pressure comes in, and another trio starting to add their take
Oh,
onto
God.
the matters here. So shots are coming in, teams are moving closer. Peterbot, Richmond, Cold. I wonder if they're sensing the danger nearby. Doesn't matter how good you are. Anything can, of course, happen here.
Oh, little lurk.
Look at this.
Whoever disengages.
Peterbot might leave his
I'm
back
not sure
open
they're
here.
gonna
This could be
be happy
bad.
with the situation, but Smitty, Oracle,
This
Sniper
could be really
just waiting
bad.
for the perfect moment. They're probably waiting and watching the feed right now and waiting for at least a knock to go through and time it with the shots, and that's where they're going to try to crash. But Peterbot weak, Ritual, no shield. This would be the perfect time, especially since their opposition are just taking shots back and forth. Neither one of them from either one of these teams, and there goes the flank. Peterbot's
No,
gonna
the
do it on
lurking on the
receiving end, and
Peterbot,
that is
no.
a huge loss for their trio.
Damn.
They weren't able to actually pick up the
Yo,
elimination
hey,
just yet. A lot of
Mythic
chaos
Pump
ensued. They're
Medallion.
trying to backtrack, bunker down to their
This
position
team
before
knew
they
one of these
find a
teams was
way
Pete,
to
so
get the
they're willing
elimination,
to...
which has been
Does he
scooped up.
survive?
They're trying to get the body
No.
out, but Curve is
There
gonna
is
be the
no
defender.
fucking...
The
I was
Cypher
about to
going
say,
down.
there is
This whole
no
fight,
world
all
where
three
Peterbot
trios
survives
seem
this,
in
right?
shambles.
I was going to be so
All of a
pissed.
sudden, Shadow's team turns onto Oracle, Smitty, and Sniper, and they end up
Wait,
finishing.
Cold and Ritual are gone. Bro, is this Cold and Ritual out here? We're in fucking Narnia. Is this Cold and Ritual?
Quickly
Bro, we are
crumbling.
gone.
Meanwhile, a team goes back into the storm. Was that Cold and
We are
Ritual? Did they
gone.
actually might have managed to get the reboot card and dip into the storm.
They don't even
for
need
the
to.
pickup.
They didn't even need to get the reboot card. They're just gonna go buy him back, bro. Holy shit, they were gone the second Pete went down.
Shadow, Curve, and Tyler get bailed out there.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
In a crazy
just fucking
turn of
legged it,
events.
dude.
Yep. Even
Nice.
Oracle's team deciding if they want to play Storm now and slow things down.
Uh-oh, they went back towards Foxy to
Oh,
try to get the reboot.
No.
A trade. Exhale goes down, but Cold gets fully cleaned up.
Where's
and that puts
Richie?
a lot of pressure.
Come on, Richie.
I believe on Ritual. Yet
Richie the solo
again,
goat.
Even if he's still alive, that could have been a full wipe.
Oh,
Yep,
rough
I
start
saw
here for
70
Pete. Rough start for
players.
Pete, man.
Oh, what is this? Oh, his teammates falling now.
This is
My gosh.
not ideal.
It's not too bad. That's not too bad. It's not very dangerous. in
It's not
terms of
great.
storm
It's not
damage.
too
They
bad,
get
but it's
the
also not
reboot.
great.
As
No,
long
we're
as they
definitely
have
dead. It's really bad. It's really
HP,
bad. We're
but I'm
dead.
realizing his loadout as we speak. There's almost no chance he's going to be able to turn around, get the reboot cards, and get his teammates back. At least not at Foxy Floodgates. And even now, he's on the clock. 10 seconds left. The storm is now moving, Monster. I fear for him.
That's my boy.
This Ritual
W Richie.
picking up Peterbot.
Yup.
You know, you
Yup.
gotta give Ritual all the
Yup.
credit right now. And Cold
And you
there,
got to
so
remember,
somehow he did
Pete
get
and
their
Cold
reboot
come back
card,
with
but
their gold.
take a look
So
at
they can
this.
now go
They're
back to the black market and buy all their
430
meds.
as well.
But
There's no way that's accurate, right?
no, that's accurate.
No, it's accurate.
Because
They
we
got
lost
rebooted,
Pete
all their
and
damage is
Cold's.
gone.
Yeah, we lost Pete and Cold's
All
reboots.
their damage. Ritual's damage is going to be the only one
Yup.
that really counts. In Zone
Yup.
5, I'm not sure with Peterbot and Cold really being the front runner. So this is going to be
Oh, boy.
a tall task for a team like this.
This
I'm
could be
not gonna
bad.
say it's
Yeah, this could be
impossible
bad.
because Peterbot, it's Cold, it's Ritual, but they're immediately going to have to start getting in.
Just like that reboot change, I'm okay with it. If you can literally
gotta think
buy
about
your
it. If
teammate
you
back
were
by running the
betting that
second they
Ritual
get
would
knocked,
be
I
picking
think you
up
should lose the
both
surge.
Cold and Peterbot
If we're gonna
more
make
than once
rebooting even
in the
easier,
weekend
we need to
today.
make it more of a punishment to be
Well, there you
rebooted
go.
then. I'm fine with it.
That just happened. So
Especially
very
coming back with your
rare
gold, so you can actually
occurrence
buy
here.
a full
Things are just
out. Like,
so differently, I think, than most would have imagined.
yeah, I'm okay with it now. I used to not like it when you couldn't buy reboots. Now I'm okay with it because rebooting is so easy now.
You saw their divisional cup performances.
Let's not count Pete out though. I think Pete's still going to be able to get back in this. We'll see.
First place for a full month run. Either way, Jacob, this is keeping us, if nothing else, very much entertained.
It's like that any given Sunday. This is exactly why we play it out. You know, everybody has their favorites.
Wait, we're already below though.
Trios,
wait, can we out heal it?
Exactly
wait,
why I always talk about
I don't know the thresholds anymore. How many people have to die here? Because we are.
This isn't just Storm Surge. This is active Storm Surge.
Is Richie actually happy to sacrifice himself so Pete can pop all the meds?
He is going to get fully eliminated. So that is going to be tough because now Cold has to get the reboot. Active Surge. They might not even make it out of zone.
I've never seen something sum up this team's dynamic any more than this. Ritual gets them both rebooted, clutches the game back, and then just has to just let himself fucking die so Pete can carry all the bigs and medkits. Oh, we are in. We're in Narnia. Holy shit, we're in Narnia. Oh, there's the llama. There's the llama. Find the llama. Get the llama. Get the llama.
Ultimately, though, 600 below and what seems to be miles away from the
kids are still going to kin stat check this as well. Ritual did so much less damage than Peterbot. As if he literally didn't let himself die so Peterbot could live. Like, we didn't metaphorically sacrifice ourselves for Peterbot. We literally sacrificed ourselves for Peterbot. Like, it's just like, this is a great example of why stats just aren't the full picture.
There's just a lot of bad.
They're probably dead anyway. And this is the play for the team strength. Pete and Cold are the two best fighters and best chance to get 700 damage here.
I was about to say, would this be like a historic moment for Peterbot Cold, or is this business as usual? I'm over here asking the chat right now, if you guys are watching, do they make it out alive? Do we see Peterbot and Cold in
Fuck it, why not? Let's go, Pete!
Those struggles
Pete,
the lobby. Prom, Donnie, Joji, barely 6 above the damage threshold, which at least it's above, giving them a chance to really accumulate more damage, but it's not a sweet spot.
Go, Pete. Oh, he's so dead. He's so dead. Surge as well. He's dead. He's gonna get zapped out of the sky.
Finally to the safety and the surge.
Good attempt though. Good attempt.
Before they could get a heal
oh my god, Pete's not gonna make grands. Oh my god, no Pete in grands.
A chance, a glimmer of hope, but there's not.
Oh my god, all the haters have got the copium they need right now.
And in the storm, unfortunately, so is what it is though. Can't count them out. They had a great game 1, right? 5 games here.
He's falling off, Chad. He's fading. He's washed. Oh my god, he's done shit.
Be in the kind of consistency range. However,
that was good lurk by that trio though. That was a great lurk onto Pete.
For chance, QK 51 Cold.
Hey, Electro with the prime.
Looking pretty good for them right now, comparatively. As they now have a full, not only position here in the storm,
I should sleep, but I need to watch his downfall. Damn. Pete really got some haters. Hey, I respect it.
For the most part, a good spot to be in, other than Storm Surge.
Losing sleep over the hate.
Really kind of affect and dictate a lot of the lobby in a situation like this. 116 below is going to be Ozone, Golden, and Void. But it's a team that I know, when it comes to consistency, know how to put themselves in the right situations. Game 1 wasn't necessarily the best example of that. But now the pressure on really backs up against the wall when it comes to Storm Surge. They're really going to have to go.
Are you Randy with the T15?
They're feeling the same thing, but they're in a better spot. 61 above. And
go Joji.
Especially now that they get the down.
Go Joji.
They lose Donnie in the mix. A sacrifice, collateral damage as it breaks down to a 2v2 outside of the zone as well. So Joji realizes that and he's immediately trying to beeline it and find some cover for him in Prom.
Just instant regret.
Oh, 100% Taco.
On the outside of the zone.
See how this next game goes.
It's moving this fast. It's going to cause all that damage, all that risk.
I think you do, Maris. I think you do. I think you can only buy both or neither. I don't think you can buy one card.
They have a moment now to go.
You can kneel with a private 20. Nah, Clicks is in group 2, chat. So he's in the one in like 5 days.
Here in the wild, they're going to have to fight their way out of this position they've walked themselves into. Meanwhile, Death stacks and encrypted.
Oh, chat, you guys know me. Like, I know Pete's crazy, but this is not deliberate, chat. Game 1, Visuals fought them off spawn and they lost it, and then they went on to have an okay game and fought an A game. This game, 100%. They took that fight thinking they were going to win it and got triple lurked on.
Seems like the lobby kind of.
That was 100% Pete just getting caught off guard, man.
Yeah, in this next couple of zones, but you're seeing a lot of the players that we're looking at missing a lot of materials, even down on Surge, but a quick turnaround. They're able to take down Poco, but still 180 below that damage threshold, and a far pull on top of that. The
who's winning this game then, bro?
Against them,
we haven't checked in on too many of the big teams how healthy and stacked they are.
Shield gets taken down, and they're not even a single step closer to accumulating damage since the zone is
Bro, Surge is brutal.
The time is now ticking.
Come on, Edgy. It's time for Wedgie.
I do believe that is going to be Ozone being the front runner. He's the first to rotate. He's the first to try to get all that damage. And so far, it's working out to perfection. Boyd tries to pounce onto one. 19 damage is all they need. And as he turns and burns another shield down, that's Higher, who went ahead and took the challenge.
That's Jeff's team. Higher is Jeff's teammate. Who's on the high ground? Is it Wedgie?
Storm does the rest. It's all up to Golden and Ozone now, who have found themselves kind of split apart from one
Zone
another.
pulls back.
And look, just flirting with the edge of the storm there, but
yeah, this is a great zone for Bryce, actually. This could be a Bryce win, chat. Hopeful Heights is a great zone for this.
The likes, but here it is.
Come on, Bryce. Come on, Bryce.
Zone's going to start to double back here. A little bit of a priority position. And we are in the money for placement points.
There he is, Bryce on the high. Oh, wait, no, it's Vert, Taki, and Ishu.
Things are going to start to add up.
There's Wedgie.
All he has to do is just
oh my god, Wedgie got Island.
Hold on. Meanwhile, Edgy, Scare, and Chance. Look at this spot here on the low ground. The vets that have been here
46
time and time
above.
again, playing it very well. No pressure from the likes of a Peterbot or a Cold and Ritual in this lobby. So this is looking much more calm here on the low ground at the moment.
Especially at the front side of the zone. It's Skater, Higher.
Oh, good weapons here for Skater and Higher.
Anything that they can, and even stoking the flame. They want that HP quick. They know the zone is coming, and they're 163 above the damage threshold. This game after game, this is the second time. Taki, Ishao, and Vert Monster.
Oh, don't hide again.
I'm just hoping
bro, this team is very good. This trio needs a better split, bro. Their drop spot does not reflect how good they are.
Just deliberately say, hey, we're going to be the squad that's going to go for high ground. Notice zone 8, all that timid positioning, no one wanted to build up, no one wanted to commit, but they say high risk, high reward, and that's what Taki and crew are looking to put together right now. On the low ground though, NG, Scare, and Chance looking for a refresher here on the mid-ground layers.
Nice, NG got a Surge. Don't need anyway though. No more Surge this game. So who we got? We got Sigma still in here as well.
Kind of high ground there, and look at this. It's just this low ground spot here. Edgy, Scare, and Chance are playing this masterfully.
Need toots with the prime. Oh, it's my Hispanic boys. Vamos.
The Tarper, the experience, the IGL. Trying to lead him to the promised end. Noisy, Creon, Tony, they're on the side. They're not yet looking up, but they're scouting at the bare minimum, trying to see, is this an opportunity for us to go? They do have the gold splash effect. They can run as Osid. He's in a terrorizing position, getting shot from all angles, but figures out a way to reunite with Bryce, but that's only one teammate. They're stuck as a duo.
Oh, Skater solo. No. Was that Edgy? Is he on the low ground? No, it's Tyler. Oh, Shadow Curve and Tyler still. This could be a good one.
But it seems like that card is pulled off the table here now as Noisy falls there, and Tony's going to play the Chug Jug splash all the way. The Chug Jug in the storm, but no, doesn't want to.
Wait, why is Percent in Narnia, bro? Why are we all the way back there?
Working their way down, constantly pressuring these other layers, forcing
nice, good shot.
Sandwich to
Sigma with a response though.
Here, what is happening? Ozone is still holding on somehow.
Shadow Curve and Tyler running that low ground. I think Shadow can win this, bro. I think Shadow wins this. Issue's getting griefed. I think Shadow wins this. Issue's getting full griefed. Oh, never mind. There's still a full trio. Oh, Vert versus Shadow. That's two of the best teams here in the lobby.
They have 6 eliminations, but you're right, Vert. They need a refresh, and this is the perfect moment for them to drop down while everybody on the low ground is in shambles. There's so much chaos going down below, and nobody's feeling confident.
Hey, anything can happen right here with no materials on the board. This is as risky as it gets now. 4 teams remaining here. Make that 3. The cards, the tower.
Oh, wait a second. We're not that healthy. Yeah, Vert. Oh, Shadow. Wait, Shadow just gave him a lifeline. Wait, Shadow just gave him a chance. Oh, Taki. Oh, Taki. God damn. Holy shit. Taki iced in this man's veins. Damn. No panic at all from Taki there.
down. He took
Shit on.
He took a shot, but he was
Beautiful.
able to get that first knock, survive a couple more shots, hit him with a little slide.
All right, we got to make that. We got to make the giveaway Taki chat. We'll make it T-A-K-I-I. Double I, though. Taki with a double I. We got to give Taki the respect to spell it right. It is spelled with a double I, right? We'll do a double I on my giveaway, but I swear it's double I, right? It is double I, yeah. I'm a Taki fan.
A huge victory royale and
W.
ticket to the major.
Yo, 2 for 2, chat. 2 for 2.
This is a huge moment for them, and this is a huge moment for their entire community. But there's still a lot of action to break down.
The prediction is Shadow, though.
Zeke, I need your help. What do you got for us?
Good game, though, man. Good game.
There's no.
All right, we're 2 for 2, chat. We're 2 for 2.
There's no way in that.
2 for 2.
Just think for a moment. Just put yourself in
Oh,
those
back,
shoes.
Kelly.
You're like on high ground. Everything.
The chat, you guys
is
win the
like,
V-Bucks. Just type the word Taki in chat. You got about 20
in
seconds.
the other tree, everything's fine.
T-A-K-double-I.
You get chopped. You pull out your blueprints.
And then make sure you
like,
keep it on
well,
your Twitch whispers.
this
My mod
is
Merits
it.
will DM you if you win.
And you pull out your shotgun and you just send out a 99 to immediately make it a 3v2. Taki, Isho, and Vert, we saw them on high ground game number 1.
Yeah.
We saw them again
Kelly riffed it
on
out. That's
high ground
fine.
in game number 2, but now they earned themselves a spot in the finals.
W
What a
Taki. Let's go, baby.
crazy
That
shot
means their spot's back
was.
up for grabs now, though.
I mean,
Listen,
yeah.
if you're gonna fail the first time trying to take high ground, you might as well go for it again, and that is what we saw.
Thank you,
from
Fees. Thank you,
Taki,
Recon.
Vert,
Thank you,
and
Southpaw,
Isho. An
Clixy,
incredible
Vetted,
run from
Commodore.
the
Thanks for the
endgame
subs,
right there.
chat.
I was actually stunned completely
All
by
right,
their
we'll call the Taki
performance,
giveaway
but
there,
I'm
chat.
back
Thank you, thank you for
now.
entering. Thank you.
And you know, this is something
The
that
Clixy,
from
Vet,
Vert, who is
Southpaw,
actually the second
Red, Doja,
player,
Neil,
the player
Rainy,
here with the second most
Electro,
FNCS
Nuggets,
finals to team
Chocolate,
up
Nightmare,
with
Oxide. Thank you for
Isho
the
and
68.
Taki,
Thank you,
who
subs,
are
chat. Really
relatively
appreciate
new
you all.
players in their own
523 subs. I love
I'd
you all.
love to see it just all come to fruition and for them
We got
to
like
make their way
25,000
into
viewers
the
across both
finals.
combined. You guys are
I mean, what a
amazing.
way to
Thank
show
you.
consistency and the ability to win at the same time, right? I mean, game number 1, you get second place. Game number 2, you follow that one up with the victory royale at the end there. And like Jacob mentioned, like Zeke was mentioning, right? That point when you kind of drop, then you're like, oh, listen, sorry, we're playing Fortnite. I can build a little bit.
12K subs today? I don't know, man. You guys are going crazy.
Materials, but having to aim to kind of back
Oh,
up a
Taki win
situation
reaction?
like that.
W. Thank you,
Incredible
Raiders.
stuff from the trio.
And to just
I'll wait
kind
for the
of
break, chat. I'll
hold
wait for the
Shadow
break, and then I'll show
Tyler
you.
Curve. Just hold them off, right? Hey, you guys want that spot? It's going to be ours. Wow, so much more to talk about. First, we will go to a break. When we return, there's so many little things we must discuss. So stay tuned. We'll see you after this.
W. All right, let's see it. Taki reaction.
I'm coming. I have 200.
No mess.
Go up. Here. Come here, take Bird. I have 2 builds. I have 200 builds.
Spray everything.
Spray. Top 4. You spraying? Spray it.
Shoot your guns. Bro, Bloodx to be so proud, man.
Fuck close.
Bloodx to be so proud with this much spraying and pressuring.
Right here.
Dropping ahead with my
I
knife.
killed
There's a trio.
3 arms a duo. I killed Tony.
Okay. Look, he's boom fighting. I got cracked. I have 3 builds.
No mess. 30 by.
I'm
Go
going
down.
Go down.
Go.
Fuck it all, baby. No builds.
He went so high pitched, he like just stopped talking. W. Nice. All right. This is our leaderboard right now. After 2 games, we've had a Vive and Taki win. No surprises there. Two of the big favorites to qualify here. Then we've got Boone. Then Noisy, Shadow, Death, Josh. Ooh, okay. Currently have Peterbot in 9th. Oh my god, he's fading. Oh my god, Pete's struggling. Did Pete go down to visuals? No. Pete took a mid-game fight against Shadow and got triple lurked on to a team literally crouching up and then dropping into his box and shooting him from behind. Kind of brutal. Yeah, so top 10 make it to Grands, chat. If you win a game, you go to Grands, and then top 5 who don't get a win. So technically, top 10 leaderboard is Grands. How do I do the giveaway? So after every set lobby game of FNCS, the rest of the season, I tell you to type a word in. You type the word in, it puts you in a big like list of names, and then Merit draws the winners when you DM the code. It's that simple, man. And then I also do a bingo board for grands where there's extra V-Bucks to give away. A bit more fun that way. Am I today? Voice is still very cooked, and I've developed like a really annoying dry cough. And I'm going to the doctor later today to do like a swab and see if it's bacterial. See if I can get on some antibiotics if it is. But honestly, not the worst time to get sick. I'll be 100% by the time Group 2 and 3 start for sure. We've got a decent break now. We've got nothing on tomorrow, so I'm gonna take tomorrow off entirely. Then we've got Eval Cup and the Pro-Am announcement, which I'll be live for. Then we have Reload Eval, which I'll probably skip, and then we have solos. So
to that song, pretty good stuff. Man, Isho, Taki, Vert.
See you, Smoke.
Taki, that was disgusting, brother. I don't even know. Again, if you missed what just happened, go back and rewatch it. I'm sure. Go follow them on socials.
Thanks, man.
The clip themselves. But to get a victory royale again, just got to go back and watch that. The slide, the 99, the 45, the 108 to get themselves a victory royale. Crazy stuff. Okay, we have a lot to talk about. Okay, many things transpired that game, and my favorite thing we'll save for last. What did you guys first off think of game number 2?
I thought it was exciting. I saw already some adaptions from players. Obviously, we had a little issue with the Dilbit server room over there, and it seemed like there might be like some contestation for Peterbot's trio, but they were able, all three of them, able to land in that server room by themselves, then go get the train, which seemed exactly like the setup that they wanted, Vivid, but then it didn't exactly go the way that they thought it would.
Yeah, I mean, troublesome. A couple of early games for that trio as it currently stands. But one thing that I want to point out that some similarities between game number 1 and game number 2 is that the end games in particular, they're kind of ending early, right? These kind of like 3v3s, 3v2s are kind of happening, and it's obviously always going to be between like a lower ground and a high ground team. But so far, they've kind of been, really good fights. And we talk about the shots from Taki, but a trio that we gotta kind of point out there is going to be Shadow's trio.
I love Zeke, man.
Second place right there. Even though
like I said, it's great seeing someone just unapologetically geek out, just get some passion going.
Second place in this format is still very, very good.
Yeah, Shadow, Curve, and Tyler had exactly the game that they wanted there, and they ended off 13th place after game number 1, so be able to make it all the way to the very end in second place. And this is kind of where we see them a lot. We saw them here also in Major 1, where they stick to the low ground. They're able to make it to the end game, but they just have a struggle clutching out.
We're Stretch and Zay these days. Zay's just living his life, man. He had some health issues, unfortunately, and Stretch, last time I checked, was super into World of Warcraft, and I don't know what he's doing now.
But with that game, we do see them jump up 8 placement points, now currently sitting in 5th, and as a reminder to everyone, it is going to be the top 10 overall leaderboard that we are looking for these teams to make it into the Major 2 finals.
That's right. We'll have 5 victory royales, they auto-qualify, and then ending basically in the top 5, which kind of looks like the top 10, is also going to earn a spot. My gosh. Yeah, I just love seeing them. And again, it's like, you're so close once more, but hey, now we don't have to deal with Taki and Esho and Vert on height. So maybe, the next game, we can go ahead and win that one. But overall, I love to see all of that stuff that happened. Okay, I want to talk about Peterbot. I want to talk about what we just witnessed. So there was a situation in which Peterbot and his trio decided actually we're gonna fight Shadow, Tyler, and Curve for a long time, and we're gonna make a lot of noise while we're doing it. And while that's happening,
the triple lurk,
Oracle, Smitty, and Sniper
triple crouch lurk,
crouch walk up these guys. Okay, guys, like Kelly, it was like 30 seconds of crouch walking.
It is a common theme that we see with Peterbot's trio, how aggressive they are, that they also are incredibly vulnerable. When they fight, they of course love to do this kind of pincer maneuver, but by that happening, Peterbot often ends up alone on his own side. And when these fights
is my man at a standing desk? How did he do that so well? He has to be at a standing desk, right? There's no way he did that well without a standing desk.
I don't think anyone would have predicted 3 players dropping in onto you as a solo. So even though Peterbot in his own right is a god in Fortnite, there's only so much you can do, Vivid, when 3 players drop on you unbeknownst to you.
I mean, a tough go at it, right? Just all of us.
Whoa, yo, why is the broadcast dick riding Peterbot so much, bro? Like, we get it. Yo, shut the fuck up. Stop talking about Peterbot so much. Am I right, chat? Oh my god.
Again in this game.
Oh wait, because they're like the most dominant team on the region, so of course we're gonna fucking talk about him.
Storm, and we kind of watched how Storm Surge was pretty much the demise of the trio as a whole. I mean, they were just felt so
Marco this year with 25
in terms of damage being dealt. That
it's still showing Peterbot. Who gives a fuck? They didn't even win the game. Like, oh my god.
I mean,
get off their dicks.
Not so Peterbot ritual cold ass games.
The YouTube kids,
the
sorry,
first 2 games
wearing off on me.
Yeah, I think that might be the first time, and I could be wrong, so don't quote me. And if I'm right, definitely quote me.
Okay, Danny, don't. Hey, chill on my short king.
Eliminated to Storm Surge.
Weird.
Just a major ago saw him first take, you know, just damage.
600 below was ridiculous, though.
To full on be eliminated is crazy. All that to say, let's make sure we box up when we take these fights. Let's just not leave open spaces that we can just be jumped on. Okay, all right, just everyone. All right, we all in agreement. Okay.
The Patch Mahomes treatment? Nah, it's got to be the LeBron treatment, bro. It's got to be the how does this affect LeBron's legacy?
Or to end in the top 5.
It does feel like that sometimes, though. I'm not gonna lie. The Fortnite scene does feel like that, and I can't even blame them. Kids talk about Peterbot a lot. I'll be watching EU and I'll be like, yeah, man, Timmy, Jimmy, bro, like, you know, they're struggling a little bit on this side of the map. Yeah, Peterbot drop's kind of only this side of the map. What do you think about Peterbot? Is he going to win if he was in this situation? Peterbot was in this situation right now, and he could have played between Poyo or Cold or Zayt. Do you think he would have won if he went high ground with 2 builds and 3 ammo in his pistol? What's happened? Look, I do get it. I understand the, like, talking about Peterbot too much jokes.
He stayed in a box on the slow side of zone all game.
I'll, like, geese up on my YouTube chat occasionally. I'll be watching, like, EU, and there'll be, like, a fucking 30-minute long conversation about Peterbot. It's like, all right. No one's mentioned anything about Peterbot. We're not watching Peterbot. There's no reference to Peterbot.
Okay, Jacob. Game 3 is here.
Someone needs to make a Peterbot song like the LeBron one. I'm sure someone's made a Peterbot song. It probably just sucks.
To go ahead and pair up with one another after that. Again, randomness that happened in game 1 with this small contest from Visuals and Crew.
The answer is yes. Yes, he would.
Yeah, I think it's not going to be the same contest, especially.
Oh, here we go. Speaking of, is it Pete versus Visuals now? Let's make this about Pete.
In that last game, so I think for them, they're going to do their same strategy: get the train, Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual, Visuals, Braids, and Minish. They're going to loot up their Foxy floodgates.
Ah, we ain't fighting anymore.
Spots opening up for game number 2. We saw Taki, Ishao, and Vert, 2 of them reaching their first FNCS finals. That was Foxy, that was Flooded Frogs monster that I wouldn't say opened up, that was contested. So now somebody just gets it uncontested.
Yeah, it's definitely a big difference, right? Getting your drop spot uncontested.
Lame.
And let's talk about the dynamics, how this is going to change in the game. Taki, Ishu, and Vert were the team that seemed to be pretty much.
I think someone landed Crime. I don't know if anyone will be brave enough to land Crime. We'll see.
They made the play for it twice.
Come on, Jeff.
Clearly, it ends up paying off. So now that is kind of evolving here, this end game is going to be a very interesting one. But
I don't know why Jeff thought he was going to get uncon Lone Wolf. That was questionable decision from me.
Asian Jeff and higher.
It's a very griefable SWAT.
Get that thermite and start that nice and early. Seems like they're back off for it, but what a crazy exchange right here.
What is going on?
Moncada catching his revenge as he was the first to fall last game.
Hey, Gishev with the tier 1.
He's kind of on the come up here, but
wait, we're gonna win this? Wait, are we actually get Lone Wolf loot? Wait a second. Don't let him go. Come on, guys. Guys, you need this loot quickly. This is your chance to actually have a game. Guys.
And that's why you see them sitting box to box, basically hip to hip.
Oh, now we're getting third partied. Well,
do a little bit of bait and switch if they have to, but remember, he's still down in the stairs. Finally, it's going to get cleaned up as soon as they go for it, and that is what's going to do him in. He tried to be the hero to save his teammate, but it's Skater. I just read him just 2 steps ahead.
Yeah, that was a pretty high.
In your pajamas.
The body there. He'll come around.
It's okay. It's a pajama kind of day.
Has a moment, but nope, doesn't end up working out. All right, a little action here over at Shogun Solitude.
Oh, Play-Doh. You were eating Play-Doh. It's salty.
Military man and must FV. Very well played.
Were you eating Play-Doh, sweetie? Sorry, Play-Doh's salty. I ate it too, so I know.
Start this one off, so not too bad.
I mean, Play-Doh looks like you're supposed to eat it. Let's be real.
Over at Shogun Solitude, because it's so isolated from the rest of the entire map that it's very, very.
See, chat's backing you up. Hey, Play-Doh as well. Don't worry.
Get Storm Surge early on in the game, so being contested
we don't
might
shave
be a
you.
blessing. But you're seeing the effects of a lot.
You're not gonna get sick. No, Play-Doh is literally designed to be eaten because they know kids are gonna eat it. Like, you don't want to like have it for lunch, but like,
But already first zone, 78 players. I feel like this.
obviously check with your Play-Doh. But there's lots of brands of Play-Doh. Our one is edible because they know kids are gonna try to eat it.
I agree. I mean, listen, this is really starting to heat up now. You can see the, the hand wraps are off here. This is all knuckle to knuckle right now. It's going down here. Omizi, K, and Cyclops, the team elimination, really setting themselves up for success. We already had an in-game finish here at the Magic Mosses. Unlikely that goes the same way, but wait a second here. Matt and V kind of kicking things off for a second here with Jason Drizzy trying to play
Is that your baby? This is. I know some of you guys only watch me during FNCS. This is my daughter. This is Charlotte. Say hi, Charlie.
We're getting pushed right into the rest of this trio, so have to be very careful now as they're likely asking for more than they can chew here.
I wonder, do they even know they're there? Because Tony, Noisy, and Creon have been there,
Good.
just hiding at the black market, baiting it, because they know how many teams actually use this location to kind of re-up or just get resources in general. And just like we've seen some of those.
Oh, it's because you can see the Wiggles' greatest hits. Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, are you flipping kidding me? You can see the Spotify album cover of the Wiggles. Oh my god. She can see the album cover of the Wiggles that's on my Spotify recently played from the car ride yesterday. Are you kidding me?
Holding it down right now, but look at the material. Run low, even though
wow, this is just insane. Well, 1 second, I'm gonna. I got you. 1 second.
Whoa!
We won't tell Mom that.
Comes in and tries to attack, and
all right,
it
here you go,
seems like
sweetie.
they managed to defend themselves somehow, even against that.
They really turned that one down. Creon's just running out. He's like, I need to stay alive. He doesn't necessarily have the reboot cards for now. So it's really up to how long these teams actually stay around Magic Mosses. And there's
no, I can't play it for you guys. Last time I showed Wiggles for 5 seconds on stream. So I was trying to show you guys how funny the Tree of Wisdom is. Because he's like definitely on copious amounts of cocaine before he does the show. I showed it for 5 seconds and my YouTube video got struck in certain countries live. I've never shown anything on YouTube that's got me a live strike before. The Wiggles do not mess around. I'm not risking it. Unfortunately, I'm not showing you the Wiggles.
Players alive right now. It's only zone 2.
It gave me like a full message that was like, if you continue to play this content, your YouTube channel could be permanently banned. I was like, whoa, Wiggles. All right, my bad.
I mean, is this going to make things more difficult later for the teams that haven't gotten active? I mean, I'm not even sure at this point.
And Pen.
For those teams that are not even necessarily below as NPen.
Got PC, but
on the Polka. That's a third party coming in from a team that.
What are the Wiggles? It's a kids TV show.
But
they like sing and dance.
Up the higher values of Storm Surge. So if you're kind of at the bottom but still above the threshold, if you're below the threshold, that's where it's going to be exponentially harder for you, zone after zone after zone, to get above that threshold. To really dictate your own
I got a live strike. It was like your YouTube channel could be permanently banned. It was the first time I've ever shown this. Give me that. She saw the album cover in my recently played of the Wiggles and started freaking out. Like that tiny image of the Wiggles' greatest hits.
And Oliver, and of course Larson right now doing very well.
Some Wiggles, Mom, go away.
Their strategy, playing the outskirts here, widely sweeping around the map.
Yeah, she's about to start crying. I can hold her for a bit.
Let's get back on over to Creon.
You can watch the Wiggles for a bit. We'll give Mom a break.
He's trying to get to that reboot card. Cyclops and K have not left. They've kind of based down in this general area here, but I do believe the card was more closer to the lodge, so let's see if Creon can pick it up.
I can almost imagine they're waiting around the reboot cards. They haven't really had to move far because of how many eliminations, how much loot was there. And then just a few steps away south of them,
hey, Rick with the
black market, where if they do have enough gold, they can kind of re-up any resources that they need, if anything. But for now, Creon's just going to have to probably use the entirety of the time on that reboot cards to make sure that nobody is floating around, instead of just trying to...
She's like a year and a quarter?
Demise.
Yeah, he undoubtedly knows this team's still here. Just trying to catch any kind of sound cue. There it is. Gets a little close to this team. Into the base. All right. So
sippy cupcakes has been helping with my
and K are going to be looking to rotate out here. So Creon should be able to pick up this card here in a couple moments. Wait, they come back.
Ooh, Pete versus Cease.
One guy just has to wait it out on that
Also,
side of the map.
now you watch the Fortnite. There
We're
we go.
seeing Peterbot, Ritual, and Cold was trying to really up their surge game this time around. You're seeing, by their standards, the disastrous 2 games that they've had so far. Even though game
This is
1
who you
was a
have to
7th
beat.
place with double-digit eliminations.
This is Peterbot.
And now they're going
Thinking
up
in
against
about
Cease,
12
Preston,
years.
and Joe, relatively new
Hopefully,
team,
he's
Cease with
fallen
all
off a
the
little bit.
experience.
And that's when you
And
can take
already
it.
he's getting pressed by Cold on the other side, and Peterbot's just waiting for somebody to make that wrong move, and that's where he's going to pop that good shot, especially with Cease isolated by himself. Joe's going to be the first one down. Cold makes the first play and gets the first elimination of the round.
Really showing you how good Cold is. Cold was holding his own up against Cease, backs off Cease, finds the side angle, takes down Joe before he can even
That looked a bit
react.
easy.
Really just being the playmaker here for this fight here. And I like the strategy adjustment. They're saying, hey, you know what? Let's stay inside the storm. Right? Let's not chase the team into the edge of zone where other teams are going to be rotating. Instead, let's take something a little more isolated here at the canyon cross, and it seems like it works out for them very well. And all right, that's what they needed. They needed the fight. They needed the damage. They have that now. Let's see if they can secure positioning. Back on over to Creon, who is in a bit of a scramble here. I'd have to assume he didn't get the card if he's still walking around.
Hey, FNCS 2037, watch out. That's all I'm
I
saying.
think maybe one. Maybe
want
maybe
Peepo? Okay.
one. He does have the throwable launch pad. But obviously, we know in this situation, especially with how good players have been, that's just almost asking to kind of get targeted out of the sky. So he has to kind of run it on foot. No other mobility. But luckily, that team isn't going to go after him. And I do like it. Even if he has one reboot card, get one teammate back. Just take it step by step. You don't have to go all in this one moment, especially with 23 total teams still left alive.
A lot of sneaking around going on in today's broadcast.
That's how I would
Look
play.
at this. Look at this. Uh-oh. One to the left, 2 on the right. Pick your poison. Oh no, one comes up the middle. And he gets shut down immediately. You love to see it. Well, back.
What is going on right now? Are we still watching another fight in Storm?
Circa have
How far in Storm are we?
Yep.
We just ran past. Why
What's the
didn't you
snake from?
follow
It's the
us?
Razor.
But now they're
It's the
deep in
Razor
zone.
mascot. This is Snaky.
And Cirque only has
Snaky the
one
Razor
splash,
Snake.
so really the HP really has to be on Havoc. Otherwise, they're going to have to disengage and revisit the opportunity at this reboot card.
You think
later.
Fortnite will fall off? Don't know, man. As long as they keep putting
Especially
prize
since
money
the
into
teams
open competitive
just kind of
tournaments, like
all
people
hunkered
still
down
keep
there.
playing,
There's
you know?
another solo in
But
Mascaro's just
they signed a
walking
deal with
around
Blast, the
somewhere.
company running this broadcast right now and like organizing the Pro Am and globals and stuff. And that lasts for this year and 2 more years. So we at least have 2 more years after this year of LAN. So like, I don't think Fortnite competitors like going anywhere downhill in the next 2 years, man. It might not be at like the current peak it is right now because this is crazy, but you know what I mean?
It's just disintegrating before them here.
Like Fortnite's always going to go up and down, but as far as like to the point where it's actually genuinely fallen off, like definitely not in the next 2 years.
Osid, G Monster, Bryce on the move right now. Big tags there. The distance.
And this is the peak?
Yeah, I questioned the other two for Bryce.
You never know, bro.
G,
I mean, I
G,
thought like
they're really
World Cup was going to be the
relying on
peak, and then I
gold
thought when
splashes
Chapter
as a
5
primary
Season 1
source
went
of
crazy, I
rotation.
thought that was an
You don't
anomaly,
see
and then
the
Chapter
Evac,
and
you
last
don't
season
see
went
the
nuts.
ice
Like it's just been
gauntlets on
like,
anybody other
bro, the
than
last
Bryce,
2
so-
years of
and
competitive
he's
has
the
been
one with the
wild.
splashes, so he can't even rotate too far ahead, just in case his two teammates do need that extra movement boost.
Having the
as they
Mongol
make their way
Savage
towards the
return
top
and
of the
then
mountain. They
run that
thought
vibes into
position the zone,
Peterbot,
just
like starting
hold
his
the
run
train,
has just been awesome, dude.
rotates all the way
And then end
towards
of
the north,
Chapter
towards
5, we
that
had all the
Magic
EU
Moss's
guys come to
area,
NA,
maybe even
like,
towards Flooded Frogs, where we
so
saw
good,
a lot
bro.
of those contested fights break out.
We had the
early on in
Asian
this game.
Jeff blow up, the Moneymaker blow up, like OG got so many people
Still
back
so
talking about
satisfying
Fortnite. It's just
watching.
been like a really nice, perfect storm for a couple of years now, bro.
In Team's farm. But okay. G Monster, Bryce, and Osid secure this launch pad here. Just scouting around before, of course, taking it, making sure they're capped off for the flight ahead. That'll make all the difference if a team decides to focus them up. They're flying right over, and you saw the marker come
not
out.
to mention
they actually
Peterbot
had
challenge,
a
bro.
trail underneath them.
If you don't think Peterbot has had any factor
Know
in
exactly where
the
they're at. They
viewership
kinda
we
get some
have,
options,
I
too.
just
They
don't know
can
what to tell you.
rotate
Like
in
you got to be
front,
like a
block them
delusional
off in
level
zone
of
right
hater.
when they're on the edge. They can surprise attack while in zone. But you're seeing the edge of it overall in the fourth zone.
Most people
It's
tell
gonna
you
be
it's
at the edge
just
of
Peterbot.
Whipping
At least I
North,
credit
so
other
he's gonna
people too.
pull primarily all the way towards the west, mostly towards the north as well. And they're initially just going to box up, but that Stacks by himself. You see how much ground they're trying to cover as a team, because if you're one of the teams that lands over there originally, most of the teams are going to rotate towards the east, towards the south, if the zone does pull in that direction. So since they're one of the teams that made that decision to stay on this side of the map, they have priority position.
I'm not going to lie, chat. This heat is actually one of the better heats of NA. I think a lot of you guys expect heats to be way more stacked, but you got to remember, it's the top 99 teams. So in most groups, at least half the lobby has never made a grand. That's just like how groups work.
This fight is, and the confidence from G-Monster right here.
Money.
No, he gets coned up.
I want G-Money. I want G-Money to win this, but I like Golden too.
Quickly recovers though.
I want G-Money.
And notice how they're playing this. G-Monster kind of being that X factor, right? Playing the side angles.
You see Osid, G-Money staying together. All three of them now converging into the same box. And this is where they got to make that decision, as G-Money is already kind of preemptively pre-tarping in front to try to cut off some angles. But the zone pulling further and further away.
You want to look at the fish? You want the fish?
Just outside of Brutal Boxcars. They're going to be one of the first teams out of these two. They're trying to rotate out, get in position, because they know, even though that team's there, they have to worry about them. They don't know how many other teams have already beat them on their rotation because of how long they were actually in zone just to get to this point.
That's right. And the more you shoot, the more attention you attract. Creon seems like he has not been able to pick up his team, and even if he did, they're not in the game at the moment. He's still lingering around the Magic Mosses, right? At this point, he can't even make a break.
You want to hang on, Mom?
Anywhere new.
Come on. Say bye, Wiggles. Bye.
And this is like a, I don't want to say a tough situation to be in by any means, but a round to start this game, second place in terms of consistency. So he's just trying to get the most he can out of this game as a solo, because if he were just kind of get a 0-point game, that kind of puts you in a hole with teams being able to catch up. But if he can at least manage a top 10, a top 12 situation, that'll at least keep the points going forward, and they can stay on top of that top 5 consistency leaderboard. It's Peterbot, Cold Ritual, straight to the island. One medallion, I feel like, is just not enough for a team like this. They're going to be able to capture both the medallions in this game.
Okay, for a kid, yeah, she's doing well, man.
And that little bit of bubble shield.
She's in a fun age. She's just getting sick all the time.
Isn't necessarily a massive game changer,
Fortunately,
but in those tight situations, just being able to pop it, even though you may not necessarily use the overall shield, that kind of gives you a little bit of extra cover in the end game.
I mean, you think about it, it also affects the splashes, right? So super shield medallion, definitely, it's good, right? Gives you more options in the likes or the hands of a team like Ritual, Cold, and Peterbot is going to go a long way. And Penn Oliver and Larson get the first update though of the threshold here. They're very much above it. G-Monster, Bryson, Osid are as well. But look at this, they're on the hunt here, right outside.
Hey, Commodore with tier 1, thank you, bro.
Spotted Creon, who was trying to make a.
We're thinking this might be the Pete win. Chat, who's feeling the Pete win here? Who are you thinking? Chat, do you think Pete wins this game? Yes or no?
They caught him out there. And now the pressure's on here. This is pretty greedy of them if they're fully chasing for the elimination, but no.
I don't think they're going to try and commit to griefing visuals. I mean, if they get a really good second, though, wait, how many points are they on? I'm trying to figure out if they get enough points to guarantee the qual without the win, will they then start just literally landing on visuals?
The splashes outside of there as well, which we know the gold splashes are a huge resource for anybody's game.
So Pete going this game was 66. No, okay, yeah, never mind. Yeah, no, we're nowhere near it.
Blessing for him considering his current situation.
So if we got like a high kill second, but then that would still leave it down to the next 2 games, which like that could be risky.
Any chance for Creon to get his teammates back. For the rest of this game, it's him and him only.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you know, you could kiss that plan goodbye. That one's
either that or now that visuals have started dropping back on just Foxy and not going for the server, maybe Pete's kind of comfortable now that in Grands he won't do it.
Not looking good though for Champ 7, QK, and Cole. When we tuned in, I think Champ's was
he's Ital with the tier 1.
Looks like he's down. Dissolved pretty quickly. And they just have a short way to go for the new zone here. And, there's their teammates' loot.
And this is a big game for a good chunk of the lobby. This is game 3. This is literally the middle of today's group stages, and where you're at on the leaderboard after this game truly dictates. If you're at the bottom half of the leaderboard, minimal points up until this point, you're almost putting that situation of I have to win a game, so I don't have to.
And you'll win. Oh my God, Wedgie!
It's QK Cole. We're seeing how they managed to even get in this position. Even with a knock, they quickly cleaned it up, and he's still not going down fight after fight. As Plasma Fight here, even though it's him and Venice as a duo, they're ready to take on the full trio. 274 below the damage threshold. Sometimes
this is bad.
It's out of your hands.
Yeah, they look like they're making this pretty personal right now. They need the surge. They need the damage. They're too far below it to be complacent with rotating into the zone, and it's going to cost them everything there. Max, Smiley, and Saul pretty happy about that pickup there. They have the damage they need coming into this fight, but that's just going to give them all the cushion that they know and need now, not to worry moving forwards.
Not wrong.
129 right now.
I might make one more T after this game. The final push through.
In a spot to get focused too much as they clean up that last elimination on the Vedets. Just getting whatever loot that they can.
Absolute max pull zone. Wait, isn't that where Pete was on the island? Did Pete just pull zone on island?
The entirety of the lobby. I honestly think they are one of the farthest teams that has to rotate through this next zone. Luckily for them, though, Monster 610 above the damage threshold, so they have a little bit of flexibility.
I'm thinking at this
So if you
point,
didn't get qual today, you have to win last chance? Yes. Yeah. If you don't qual through your group, then you need to get one of the 3 spots in last chance.
South here, a little bit more of a different play, but take a look at the highlights really quickly from Salt's perspective. Gets the great angle here, waits on the outskirts.
Tyler 2-on-2.
Knows Vedets needs a piece of it, and then takes him out. Very smooth elimination there. And look at that. The team that was trailing them decides, hey, look, we got to rotate too. They don't take the fight necessarily. They all decide to go ahead and move in. This is the better decision.
Crazy Fun has the stream last chance. Yeah, but I got you. I'll jump in replays and like fully cast and I'll do my best.
Don't know how to rotate. Let's be honest.
So you're saying I don't have to shoot the guy in front of me on this?
No, you do. You do. No, you definitely got to shoot him.
Learn something new every day, and a little bit of a slower game coming out of Peterbot.
He kills the tier 1.
I think they're realizing what's really at stake. They got those.
Oh, they are slowing down a bit here. This does seem like they're going for the win. I'm going to be honest.
1,000 above the damage threshold, and now they just simply have to focusing to make it from one zone to the next towards this end game. But you're seeing Peterbot look above, trying to spot out those opportunities. That's Curve, Shadow, and Tyler. They're getting tagged up by a whole nother trio, and this is their green light. They're trying to pounce, separate at least one of them from the rest of the team, but the shots come firing back. 50 damage off of both Ritual and Peterbot, and that's sure to slow them down.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? Game 1 was pretty good. Look at their points. They picked up a lot of points. I mean, a huge effort in Game 1. Game 2 is kind of a setback, so it almost balances out their Game 1 pop-off, if you will. So they really do need to take the lead here by getting another big end game, and I don't blame them for slowing
max
down
pull.
for a second.
Wedgie takes down Spider-Man Black 9.
As we edge into zone
The GOAT.
9 now. Who's going to go for high ground? Who's going to go in and try to be that team to take a dominant positioning here on NA?
Yeah, Cold not moving for a second there. It's kind of got me freaked out as well, but I'm going to wait and see.
Chance for it everywhere, but look at this great rotation.
Yo, Bucci, thanks for 500 biddies, bro.
Going to come out for the solo for Shadow there.
Oh,
Tyler at the front
my
side,
gosh.
putting shots on teams that do have a little bit of positioning there. This low ground spot, too many teams can kind of see them here. They're in the sight lines of everyone.
Yeah, stuck.
Oh, Cold's still beaming here, so we're good. I think Cold's chilling.
Have to go straight in. It's stiff. That's gonna get.
Are they moving?
Down.
Is Cold moving?
Big elimination there.
Where are they? Hey, they're moving. We're chilling, baby. Wedgie making the late rotate. Visuals taking the high ground. Oh shit.
You asked the question, who's gonna get high ground, especially after Taki, Ishao, and Vert are out of this lobby. They went for it 2 out of 2 games so far. And
You hit with the prime, thanks, man.
And Aminish, a team that I thought was gonna get through consistency.
Look at this. He wants to get to that landmass on the side to try and secure this base in. This is a huge material commitment. There it is. He's going to be able to touch ground here. And now they are very much set up for success here. But spreading themselves a little too wide now, allowing...
High, not Higgs? No, Higgs is it is a fake Higgs, chat.
And Larson trying to make the climb here.
Oh shit. Well, OG's not winning here.
Old man's going to want his payment. Gotta pay the toll. Meanwhile, Peterbot, Ritual, and Cold, though, on the other side, finding their eliminations, really starting to cook
Oh,
up.
here we go. Pete's starting to get some momentum going. This could be a chat. This could be the pizza grands.
Grounds to play with. Chance is not even trying to make a peep here. Doesn't want to move. He's one edit away from the lobby.
Shadow Curve and Tyler right above them, though. And they have the edit. No.
Nearby. That was
A brain explosion from Shadow.
Takes the other wall, trying to follow up. but the zone is now pushing them in.
Boxing up on the wall that isn't theirs. That's risky.
Because it's a lot of damage from that storm. They immediately use the splash. They're trying to beeline their way up the side of that mountain. The slower side where not a lot of players will try to rotate into. Enpen, Larson, they're going through.
Yeah, visuals on high ground, Pete on low ground, bro. The script is scripting, man. Look at him, bro. The two teams. Bit of beef today. Mini Shed's putting pressure on a Ritual. Oh, shit. Bray's now on the 0 ping in Dallas. Going to be a big buff to him. They might need it. We might have to be fighting Pete here for the 3v3 at the end. We'll see. We have seen a lot of teams aggressively go for height earlier today, though. So Visuals might not have this until the very end. We'll see. Visuals tried to take the server farm game 1 whale, and it... So Pete has been forced to triple drop at the server farm every game.
Tactical play here. You can see even under all of this pressure, still making strategic decisions to
like the Dilbit server farm thing that's at Foxy. Have you even seen it, Whale? It's like the big room with all the computers and shit in the mountain at Foxy where Pete starts. Oh. 7 elims. Pete Ritual Cold looking good. 8 elims is good points. This is good points. Wait a second. Pete versus Mini Shed here would be big.
HP's gonna come back up in no time, and they finally come online. They don't need high ground. They don't need a high number of eliminations early in the game because they've got 9, and those eliminations.
Oh, they're in such a good spot. Wait a second. It's actually gonna be Pete versus Braids at this point, bro. Everyone's shambles. No one's going behind. It's gonna be Pete versus Braids. Dude, this season's scripted, I swear to God. G-Money goes down. Where's Edgy? Did Wedgie go down? Oh, Wedgie went down.
Running the low ground.
I'm trying to figure out how there's still 15 players or something like that in the game. This is too small of a lobby to have this many players here. Someone's got to crack.
No, I'm saying the opposite. This is a dead game because of the mountain. Only 11 players on 11 zone. This is dead as shit.
Will it be enough here? Meanwhile, Peterbot swinging around the outskirts.
Oh, Ozone and Void getting dropped here, maybe. Oh, Ritual goes down as Pete and Cold as a duo. We get collapsed in on the backside.
The pressure of the congestion here. Peterbot second guesses the edit there, sees another team up top.
Ozone sitting on that floor was clean.
Cold is at 7 eliminations. He's at 7 eliminations. Look at this. They are cooking.
It might not even be Visuals versus Peterbot.
Cold at an extra chug. He tells
this is not looking like a Peterbot win.
I got you. Now they're full health. Now they're able to bypass a couple more eliminations. That
3v2v2.
Even though there's a team on the high ground they have to worry about. That's Ozone and Void. And right now Cold and Peterbot are sharks in the water, and they're ready.
Oh, they're spraying. Braze is spraying.
From the high ground, Peterbot knows exactly where to move.
Pete with the phase in the aggression, bro. Cold goes down though. It's gonna be a 1v3. Pete versus Height in the 1v3. 9 eliminations. Bro, if Pete wins this, absolute cinema, bro. I swear this shit is scripted if Pete wins this. There's no chance. Not even Pete, bro.
A chance to try to fight back, and it's working so far because he's even taking damage. But it's Peterbot. It is Peterbot. He gets a big elimination into a minute. The Siphon is picking up.
No, Visual's got heal off as well.
2v1 situation. Peterbot's getting a moment to breathe here, and that might be the mistake for Visuals and Braids. I hate to count out 2 pro players, but when it's Peterbot,
all right, okay. Had me thinking for a second. Had me actually thinking for a second, bro. That we only Pete makes us think like, oh, maybe 19 kills second. But hey, Visual, Braids, and Mini Shed. They did what a lot of people wanted them to do, man. They started taking some loot from Pete. They stood up to Pete, and then they won the game. Nice. All right, we'll make this one Braids chat. It's nice. It's with a Z. If you guys win some V-Bucks, type the word Braids in chat. B-R-A-Y-D-Z Braids. W Braids. Good shit. All right, Braids through, baby. I should have kept him on my prediction, man. I should have kept him on the prediction. They were conned. Then they got unconned. All right, we go again, chat. Hey, no Pete. Pete's having to play game 4. That's huge points. Pete, I think Pete's now qualled on. I'm pretty sure Pete's qualled off that game now almost. Damn, what a game, bro. What a game. Thanks for following the subs, chat. Appreciate y'all.
Wow. It is so difficult to not talk about what Peter just did there. We're going to talk about
so difficult to not
They
talk
got
about
themselves a victory royale. What's crazy is they didn't have the bat in the inventory. Without a kneecapper, it's kind of difficult
so
to play
difficult
high ground,
to not
but
talk
see them
about
still
Peterbot.
walk away. I guess, you know, Kelly's kind of easy to play height when you're kind of sitting.
All right, 10 more seconds, chat, then we'll call the Braze giveaway.
To start eliminating people.
So chat, if you guys want to V-Bucks, type the Braze in chat, and then keep an eye on your Twitch whispers. Anyone can win.
Yeah, I would say that that
Cost
does
you
make things a
nothing.
little bit easier for you, especially when less teams are trying to steal height away from you because everyone's just getting eliminated on the low ground. But we knew that Braze Visuals
cool. There, chat. Thank you for
be
entering.
able to do this. We talked about them
Oh
at
my
the start.
God,
That we knew that they were gonna
FNCS,
be making it
baby.
into the Major 2
I love
finals.
FNCS so much,
And
chat.
just
Thanks for
watching
joining
them
me.
kind of
Thanks
control
for being
high
here.
ground all the
You guys
way
are
from
great.
8th zone on, which is something, Vivid, that we keep seeing time and time again now. This kind of early ground height control that we typically don't see. I'm glad to see them find their footing after 3 games and to make their way into the Major 2 finals.
Oh yeah, I mean that 8th zone pool was just incredibly awesome for Visuals, Braze, and Diminish, right? They were the only one on the east side. That's exactly where the zone pulled to, and to boot it actually went up a mountain. So it kind of just fell right into their laps. They played it so perfectly. They ramped all the way up. And I was like, they're playing kind of close to the rest of the lobby, even though they could go to the top of this mountain. And like Zeke mentioned, no kneecappers. They got to be a little wary of the fall damage that they can actually take. Because they didn't have those, but still, a perfectly played out game. Everything kind of fell right into the right spot for that trio.
Okay. Congratulations to them. I want to make sure you guys have your time in the sun. I want to talk about
She
this
looked at what I
20
said.
elimination victory from Peterbot,
Soft and
and I'm going
squishy.
to talk about this
No,
after this break. That's right. We'll be right
she's
back.
singing on
Bye.
Spotify. She's singing the tiny little thing.
Eyesight's very good.
Yeah, eyesight is very, very good. Astoundingly good. Oh, sweetie, it's okay. Bye. Oh, dude, I love how I can pretend it's for me. It's not for me. She's not crying for me. You're okay, sweetie. I've only got 2 more games and then we're going to go to the park. I'll take her to the park. That's one thing I tell you about working from home, chat. Working from home is great because you get to see them more often. And also, when you got to go back to work, it's so much harder. Okay, we got Taki, Visuals, and Aviv winning the first 3 games. Then we got Ritual, Shadow, Josh, Sigma, and Noisy. W. So far, so Josh, quite surprising here. Sigma, I'm not as surprised about, but Josh causes a magma. I'm gonna be real. I know nothing about this team. Like, genuinely 0. How much? What's our earnings combined? 500, 1300, 1100. Maybe I should have heard more about them then. I feel like that's enough where I probably should have like started to notice them. Good stuff though. Hell yeah. Magma got 1v3'd by Donnie. Oh, that's right. That's right. I remember this now. Yeah, I remember this now. Oh, we got the mini shed Twitter reaction. W.
Oh, no mats. Got mats left.
We cut out the part where Pete killed them. Quanti's response, what? Wait, what? How did you die? WTF? Trolling, good win. Bruh. Wait a second. Wait. I might have to get confirmation, but if so, this might be the most adorable thing ever. I looked up a Minished. I looked up a Minished on Twitter, and there's a Minished's mum and a Minished father, and a Minished father follows me, and I think it's actually his dad. Maybe? I don't know. I don't think it is. I mean, all they do is share posts of Minished, so I think it might actually be. I don't know. I'm so confused now. I genuinely don't know, but that's adorable. Hey, Sushi, thanks for becoming a member on YouTube. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for all the likes and subs on the YouTube stream too, chat. Appreciate y'all. First FNCS streaming on YouTube. I will be live for every round of FNCS on YouTube, so appreciate you guys. Hope you're enjoying it. Yeah, Tayson's parents are mad supportive too.
We're back. Okay, so like we were talking about, Peterbot 20 elimination game What in the heck are these guys doing? What's crazy too, we can't forget.
Yeah, true, Mos. You called the
Game
peak
one,
game
super
4 win.
tough,
Let's see if
right?
you're
In
right.
the first 2 games, they had to be revived by, or rebooted rather, by Ritual. Game 2, Peterbot got stuck up on, got eliminated.
I still find
It was
Queasy's dad
tough,
having the
but
same
then
energy
game
as
number
Queasy to
3,
be so
Kelly,
funny.
they come
Oh,
back
yeah.
stronger
Papa
than ever. They
Queasy.
come back with that confidence. I feel like
Definitely
we're
got the
really used
Queasy
to them
energy. You can
seeing,
see where he got it
and
from.
man, dude, they put on a performance almost getting the victory royale. If things had maybe just a scotch differently.
You know, Zeke, I feel like we need to add another region to North America, the NAP region, which is just North American Peterbot, where he just plays by himself, because that's exactly what we got to see here. He was in a league of his own. So same thing with Cold as well.
Kelly, damn.
Ending off second place with 20 eliminations. But of course, we saw that Peterbot run. We thought, once again, are we going to have this insane solo run like what we got to see from the Major 1 finals? But once again, just barely missing out Vivid. Is this a sign for things to come, or is this just kind of them playing out the group stage with the confidence knowing they're going to make their way into the Major 1 finals?
I mean, this is them just playing the way they play.
Like on making conclusions about how we can kind of expect the finals to go so far. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's going to be a good trio all the time, right? Some of the plays they kind of make sometimes look like they're just kind of having fun out there right now. But I gotta say, you know, speaking about fun and being entertained and all that, it's kind of like, all right, you know, you see Peterbot's in a 1v3 and you kind of slide down your chair a little bit, right? And you start to like relax and you're like, oh, this is over.
Thanks,
And
guys,
then,
for the
you
donut.
get
Thank you,
that
bro.
elimination, and you're kind of reminded, oh, this is Peterbot. And all of a sudden you perk up.
Yo,
right? You
what's
sit
up, Mini
your
Shed?
posture's
Good
all
stuff, bro.
fixed.
Congrats, man.
Peterbot just makes
Good shit,
it
dude.
look like it's possible every single time. Crazy stuff for him to just
Oh, yeah.
always be
Whale,
able
are
to
you still
kind of
here?
put up these types of
I want to explain that
performances
end game, but I want to
game.
focus on the end game. I
10
don't know if Whale's still here.
eliminations by himself for a total of 20 amongst the trio. Finally, a good game out of Peterbot, Ritual, and Cole.
And I just love too the usage of that coin, right?
Just a Peterbot montage of Braid? Yeah, pretty much.
Bubble. I'm gonna start a hero here. We're gonna drop this shield bubble, and now we
Yo,
have
OG, thanks for Prime, man.
extra layer of protection. We can kind of navigate these layers as we need to, and to just think like, so game 1, 7th place, 10 elims. Game 2, 21st place, 1 elim. Game 3, 2nd place, 20 eliminations. And they're basically in first place. So while we thought for just a moment,
Mini Shit doesn't even know what happened to him. That's what happened to me.
Oh yeah, gods can bleed. I'm just kidding. No, they can't. They're back at the top like nothing happened.
They're not even just in first place through consistency. They are 33 points ahead. You can see how far away everyone else is, especially to someone like Shadow, Curve, and Tyler, who have had a pretty decent performance today. For them to still just be so vastly ahead, and obviously that is due to the eliminations that they are able to claim time and time again. But obviously we do need to give a little bit of flowers to Curve, Shadow, and Tyler.
Yeah, a little
although
bit.
They haven't really
Yeah, a
been
little bit
able
of flowers.
to reclaim
A flower.
that
One
second
singular
place
flower,
game
maybe.
that we saw from game number 2. Still being able to make it into the end game, 7th place with a handful of eliminations is going to hold them up in our consistency leaderboard.
Yeah, I mean, incredible game from them, right? Kind of keeping themselves in that conversation.
Not even
towards the
muscle
top of
aches.
the
That's not a
leaderboard.
good sign.
2 games left, though, Kelly. I think it's time that we kind of start to have a conversation about how many points we can kind of expect to be quote-unquote safe for that top 5 consistency. So I went ahead and took a look at Major number 1, and over the course of the 3 groups, it was like an average between like 183 to 205. And then over on EU today, top 5 in consistency was actually like 211. So we're kind of, I guess we could kind of use the baseline of around like 200 points when we look at the leaderboard as like something to keep an eye on, right? Going into game number 4 here. Expect it to be around that threshold.
I guess. Okay, so I hear you, but like how many of those points, like there's still like this Peterbot effect to the equation, right? Because we know Peterbot's gonna steal away so many of those points. So maybe it's not even like 200s, right? Maybe it is like, I don't know, 160, 170. Like if we have another game like this, I could see that, but we've also seen them fall 2 games in
Ready
a
for the
row.
craze,
So it's like,
the craze quo? Yeah, craze quo would be good vibes, man.
Right, in these next 2 games.
I don't think we're going to see what we saw, especially in game number 2, where they went down to Storm Surge. I think we're going to be seeing more of the atypical Peterbot, Ritual, and Cold in these final 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people kind of wish, like, oh, I just do not want them to qualify in the first game. Please don't qualify in the first game. And we're getting a game 4 out of Peterbot.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie.
Let's see what they can do with it.
You're right. It's that time. Game number 4. Monster D-Phase, Jacob PR. Take us away.
They're talking about right now consistency, Peterbot and consistency, but there's still 2 games left. And imagine, Monster, the implications if Peterbot wins this next game and opens up a spot on the bottom of that consistency leaderboard.
I'm kind of very happy Pete didn't make it.
I think he's just here for the practice.
Through early.
I think he's just gonna have fun.
I really sort of like now I'm happy. If Pete calls now, like 1 game without Pete, you know, it's like
a genuine.
If he came out in 1 game 1, it would be kind of boring.
Elimination game is nothing to overlook at. Clearly, they are one of the dominating trios here.
Hey, I didn't offer him anything. I just asked him to. Okay.
It's a game 4. Anything can happen. Let's see it.
Yo, Rex, 85 gifted, bro.
Game of the
Thank you,
day.
Aiden, Tukan, Blur, Katsuki, Micro.
Maybe even top 15, where 61 points and above. You're kind of giving yourself a little flexibility to hopefully put up
some good teams. We're going to get us lined here, though, still.
Out the day, getting consistency.
Shadow, Bryce. Now that we've got visuals, too. That's good.
That's when you're
Praise. Oh, wait, Jeff Uncon. Jeff Uncon. Big vibes.
Yeah, I mean, and game 3 was
2 games uncon can go really far.
Teams were starting to show their signs of desperation, right? Not looking to stay content with the, let's just say, maybe the damage that they were lacking, right, in games 1 and 2, which were a little bit more stacked. So
I have not Rexy. Thanks 5 gifted though, bro. I don't really pay attention to many orgs in Fortnite, man. I'm guessing it's a Fortnite org. I don't pay too much attention, man. I'm gonna be honest, just because so many come and go.
Open up, things in theory should ease up a little bit. The tension, right, that unfolds on the map should play out a little bit more smoothly.
So who's now going Foxy?
These games, but you still have these outliers in the game, like Ritual, Peterbot, and Cold, Shadow, Curve, and Tyler, who...
Yeah, sorry, you should have heard me this morning, bro. Oh my god, this morning I had the smooth jazz vibes
impressed with the
coming
fact
out
that
on
they have
the,
been so consistent with placement points, Jacob.
Yeah, I like
mean,
the full like jazz
99
radio
points already so far.
presented
Most
this morning.
of their points have been straight from just making it to endgame.
Yeah, they have a 14th, a 2nd, a 7th, and then they have 16 eliminations throughout that game. It shows that the recipe is there in terms of being able to pick up that VR. But I think it's been shown.
Oh, we on the train. We on the train.
Ritual, Peterbot all together again. Even with Crime City being theirs themselves.
11-2K, not quite 11-2K. That's hard.
Foxy Floodgate advancing to the finals. That is a lot of potential territory open up for these 2 guys. 3 guys, I should say, to get.
Peter was qualified for Grand 7 times winning a game, the joint most in the world.
The instant mythic. It's their game to lose.
That's very interesting, actually. Did he get a lot of reboot round wins then back in the day? Because I feel like most of the good teams qualify Grands by winning in this new format, but...
Going up against another trio, and then Shadow out the tail end there, forced to disengage for a moment now. Seems like...
Nice, Marexy. Thanks for 1,000 biddies, bro. Good luck, man. Hope your players do well. Thanks the gas, bro.
We spoke a little too soon about their consistency and their strategy. The other team seems to have figured it all out now, because they were moving in while they were distracted before.
No, not curve. No. Wait, why are we now? Wait, why are we now contested at flooded? What the fuck?
And you kind of
why is Shadow now con?
What it's doing? The rest of the teams hearing this noise. Magma, Josh, Causers, they're moving up to try to see if they can take any damage away from this fight. Make it have a smoother transition throughout the rest of the game. Cole, QK champs, kind of business as usual.
M-Pen Larson running no OG.
Game 1 Victory Royale winners that opened up Outlaws Oasis that allowed
Lone Wolf
M-Pen
team.
Larson and Oliver OG to move over to the spot. And where
yeah, that's what I mean. So the team that was dropping on Jeff is now dropping on Flooded.
Map, I think that could be a chance for Cole, QK, and champs to really take advantage of this side of the map, position, and maybe try to hold them out, fight them overall, or just accumulate as much surge off of that one team alone.
Yeah, and clearly they have the advantage. They've already taken down Oliver.
That's Australian.
So really showing you that there was a limited amount of information from his side, right? Getting caught out of position there. Meanwhile, Josh Causer and Magma say, all right, we're going to come in. We want a third party. And in fact,
what is going on at Flooded?
Fight. And they're taking it to the team now. But Frogs has not been safe today. The plasma gun coming out. That thing is just, it's pretty gnarly, bro. I've used it. I like the way it feels. And you can see it's pretty devastating. I'm surprised we haven't seen more teams.
It just burns a lot of builds.
Break through low ground layers and cause a little bit of havoc. Look at the range on it.
There's 2 now. They've got 2 of them, bro. It's so grief.
It's a lot of resources being used by Nexi because he's the main one they're targeting. But a flank comes in. Josh takes a big shot.
So this is a big deal, this fight, chat. This team's on 141 points right now.
They try to slow things down.
Magnum spent more time alive than any other player. W.
Switches up what they're doing. They switch up the plasma and immediately go right back to work.
Yeah, they're
This team like really needs this. 141 is really good.
Underway, keeping them very much on their
Oh.
toes. They look just ready to answer with the shotgun when it matters, but do they hit the shots? No! They missed the most important ones.
Well, that's going to make it a lot harder now.
Moncada stay in the game here, and they live to see another day. And there hasn't been any sight of Shadow returning back.
I think you're thinking of Crims.
Any of his teammates'
But,
cards or anything, so I'm curious.
NCR, you might be thinking of Crims when you say, is it World Cup Craze? Craze is a very new player.
Yeah,
There's no one in World Cup called
question,
Craze
and that's
unless
a
I'm
big team
wrong.
Out of the law because we're talking about points and that threshold. If they're gone, that's second place. That makes it.
Or maybe Creo. You might be thinking of Creo as
but
well.
You see, they immediately all three had the same idea. They phase into the box. They take the first one down and turn to take out the other.
Oh, what's going on
Death
here?
and Stacks are
Oh,
in a
Death's
fight.
be mad if they die
QK
here.
Both have a lost teammate, and now he's going to be by himself, QK, but it's basically a 1v3. Different angles are there. He's trying to focus on the Stacks, but Death comes in to save the day, gets that elimination, and moves him one step closer to the top of the leaderboard.
See how it's going to work out.
You meant Creo. Ah, yeah, no,
I like
not
it though.
Creo.
Stacks encrypted Death.
think he did. I think he does stuff.
Off this, these gains here at the Outlaws Oasis, so it's a big chance for them now to go ahead and start to build a substantial lead here. 3 full teams eliminated now, as this early game is just starting to cook up. Let's take a look at the highlight from Stacks encrypted and Death one more time. James calling Death. We already
Nice,
knew
good
that,
angle.
they were basically running Oliver OG's team out of the drop, but
Nice
they
reset
just
too.
fall into the hands of Death. Stacks and encrypted here, and
Damn.
they play it well. Look at that.
Some
Oh,
great shots by
the
Encrypted
Hispanic
down
boys are
below.
fighting. Oh, Weeks goes
Especially by
down.
himself,
Damn,
but
yeah, you don't want to
they're
mess with
fight after
Creon.
fight. And you're seeing, again,
Creon's
they're
team's
trying to
good
close
fighters,
the gap.
man.
Some teams through eliminations, through getting Storm Surge early. Tony's able to pick up 1 elimination. They have 2 overall, and there goes the
123.
third as Rovers goes
This
down.
team could clutch
Another
the qual
full
here
team
just with a good game,
right
even
down
without the win.
lobby. And again, you see a third-party team. They're ready to crash. It's non-stop today.
Yeah, unlucky champs.
I'm a big fan of Creon, Tony, and Noisy. A lot of what we've seen today is showcased how experienced they are, but seems like Jace, Madden, and Drizzy ain't got no respect for this trio right now. They're like, oh, yeah.
Oh, they got the scanner down
Wanna
too.
hang out over here by yourself and not rotate early? Let's fight. They're asking for it. Well, let's see if the newcomers got what it takes to go up against these vets.
I think
here.
Creon wins this. I'm not going to
Who are
lie.
you going with right now?
Oh, man, as much as I want to say Drizzy, Jace, and Madden, I just think the experience is on the other side. But I will say Jace was able to drop
Tony's
the
a
scanners.
really
They know
fucking good
exactly
fighter,
where
man.
they're at, and that's why you see the little red
Opening up this
outline.
one. Good stuff,
Drizzy
Tony.
picks up a
Tony
big
makes the
shot,
play in the
almost
perfect
150
timing
damage
between the
coming out from
scans.
Tony, and they're trying to pressure from all angles, and that's why you see his teammates trying to converge, buy more time at survival. And even with big shots, you see nobody is willing to take the risk to try to 50-50 in the box. The splash is coming down, and I can see a disengage coming out momentarily.
See it, Creon. It's tagged big time there. Shield crack comes through. Noisy has to step up to support. And look, they're starting to run out of material. This is starting to look
Maybe I've
pretty bad
cursed
for
them.
the team here.
Maybe I've cursed
On
him. Tony
defense,
goes
and
down.
Tony caught through the builds as well.
Looks like
this trio now wants it.
Jace's team might be better than what I
It's
thought.
still a
Oh, maybe
2v2
not.
Here, those shots come out on both sides, and Drizzy gets
My
hit.
Hispanic
Another
boys,
side
baby.
angle
Let's
from
go.
Creon, with
Vamos.
Noisy following straight down.
That's why I
the
got all my
barrel. They
Preds,
win
baby.
it. And well, if you counted out the veterans, if you counted out the boys that have been in finals before, there you have it. That's why
100%
you
cursed,
can't let
huh?
your guard
Huh?
down and get overconfident, but Storm Surge will force teams to
Nah, this
go
team
ahead
is
and take these
genuinely
fights
very
when they
good
have the
fighting team.
opportunity to.
Like I said, they speak
Just like
Spanish.
that.
They don't speak English, so it's hard for me to hear their
It runs
comms and
over for
understand
the
exactly how like
game
solid
4
they are.
here. Still another game
But
after this.
This team not placing is definitely not because of their fighting ability.
This highlight right here from Noisy's angle, jumps over. They didn't even see him coming. Boxes this player up, but had the wall. Very cleanly done.
I felt like this was gonna happen. I was looking at that replay. I'm like, wait, that's the full trio right there. That's the first one. Are we about to see a little montage in action based off of
Yeah, they're
back-to-back
Mexican, bro.
fights? And that's 2 trios down. That's a lot of surge, a lot of resources, and a lot of confidence being built up right there.
Ooh, Cold Ritual got 2 kills. Pete getting carried right now.
Peterbot Ritual.
The double gold is nice, though.
Was enough confidence for them. Peterbot saying, hey, it's not just about winning, it's just about dominating.
Jeez.
And you can see Cold
Oh my god.
Why he teamed up with him, one of the most dominant players in the game as well. And
Oh, why not the Richie kill, bro? What was wrong with the Richie kill?
Pound for pound best fighters.
Probably the Richie kill was like too fast. It was like too good. They just didn't want to
show
show it, you know, would like
intimidate
the other players.
Greatness just coming out of cold alone today. Very nicely done. I mean,
Peterbot dealt 4,600 damage and leads that category by 1,700. I'm not just saying this because of the stat itself, but we literally have Kinch maxing on the broadcast. Like, holy fuck, it's over. Like, it's genuinely over.
Entered into their territory. It seems like
we're pulling up Kinch stats mid-finals.
Nah, they always go back to Crime City after their fights. This is how they re-up on a lot of their loot. I don't think they got the memo. Veditz is down below trying to hold on, but that instantly gets stolen by Cold. Him and Peterbot still staying.
If you guys don't know, Kinch is literally doing the stats for the broadcast now. So it is literally Kinch farming. But now it makes it onto the broadcast too.
But they're staying at it. But Peterbot shows exactly why it is going to be a risky situation. Almost 150 damage just like that. But he quickly backs
He met it with a prime for 7.
Oh my gosh, he just gets
He gonna finally get his first kill
before he eventually goes down to Peterbot, and the full
steals him though.
Just drops just like that.
This is crazy because I was about to give so much credit to CR and
Meta
team. They were playing that masterfully. I mean, you saw the you observed that perfectly. They were playing those 3 angles. They made it impossible.
Oh, Jeff,
for
get
Peterbot,
elims. Come on, Jeff. Come on, Jeff to Grands, baby.
And everything went crumbling down when they decided to key outwards and be in the same position. All of a sudden, all those angles opened up. Watch it one more time. Masterfully done, right? Takes the tag here, notices another, backs his way out. It's just so smooth, right? Waits for him to make the edit. It's like he saw it coming. He read it perfectly.
Oh, Jeff's still going. Let's go.
And he's just so calm and clean with the shots there. Well, on the other side, Asian Jeff Skater fighting in the zone right now. This is just in between the Pump Power and the Magic Mosses here.
You spilled the gift to the Drizzy.
A bit of a standoff, it seems like.
I see Zach. I don't see Sobzy anywhere. I do see 2 eliminations on
Sobzy's
Jeff,
dead,
so
yeah. Sobzy's down.
Looking like it could potentially be a solo or him just trying to okay, there's Omizi, there's Kaze. Cyclops is there as well.
Sobzy's down, which is the fake Kings.
There might have been 1 solo there with 2 trios up on top, and that's usually a saving grace for a solo in that situation, because then the 2 trios become focused, distracted with each other. They don't want to get caught off guard, and the solo is able to kind of sit in the cone, wait for them to disengage outward, and at least have a chance depending on how much heals he has in his inventory.
Oh, they're probably thinking this is the solo from the team they're fighting, but it's really Tony, Noisy, and Creon here who just had to pick up their teammate. Let's not forget that they had a little bit going on there themselves. And they're hunting. You see them looking around like, well, what happened here?
Yeah, I think they heard the noise as well, so their initial plan was
good ass vibes today, chat. I appreciate it.
Black market, but they know another team is there, and this is where a lot of teams, whether they have abundance of gold,
a very fun day watching Fortnite today.
Usually get a lot of those gold splashes. It helps with the rotation, especially if it's fully
bringing
towards
the
the
vibes for
south.
sure.
It's team HP as well, which I think is the most important factor.
Seen a lot of great moments here from Void, Godin, and Ozone, who had to clutch up for just the last 2 games there in the end game, squeezing out as many points as possible, keeping them in the running right now for consistency so far.
Playing after NA? Nah, not today, man. I'm enjoying the pro-am grind, but I really should rest up, man. Like, I'm starting to get, like, my muscles are starting to get sore, and I'm like, ah, shit.
114 points. And heard Vivid talk about the kind of threshold.
Gonna try and get a cheeky nap in after NA.
It's not exact.
Go to the doctor and then film the video later this afternoon.
Previous Group 1 qualifiers or group stages.
This is also a midnight wake up, so.
And at 114 points, they started this game in about 9th place.
And take Charlie to the park,
which is
yeah.
about, I think, 6th on the overall leaderboard with the 3 victory round.
That's usually late in the afternoon thing, though. I take Charlie to the park when she starts to get fussy in the afternoon.
So they just need to not get a 0-point game for the most part. They just need to play as consistent as they've been.
No, I mean like muscle aches, like 6 muscle aches craze. No, I can normally sit for like 15 hours and my muscles never get sore.
They could just have 1 more.
But that's why I can tell something's off because I'm like getting achy.
What's going on here? Another tower break. Shots coming in from the side there.
Oh.
Side ramps as well. They're trying to catch him. Cold gets taken
Cold
down.
goes down.
Shots from Oracle there.
How does Cold go down in that? Wait, we did a replay on that. What the fuck? Richie with the save, though. Richie with the save.
He can secure the elimination, but opens the wrong box instead. They're just
nice, the double res, bro. And now Oracle goes down to Pete.
Giving them the confidence there. Oracle, though.
Damn, they had their chance, bro. They had their chance.
Peterbot answers up. And look,
oh, Pete's chasing him down. Oh, Pete is running him down.
It's Peterbot season here. He's back on the prowl.
He's on 98 points, so he's pretty much already called off consistency, so I don't think he really cares.
Look at how quickly their lead has turned into a 3v2.
Yeah, this is a chip on their shoulder because this is the team that eliminated them out of game 2 that caused that storm run.
Oh, this is the team that lurked up on them in game 2.
A rematch, but Smitty's just down to 1 HP while Cold's going to continue to put that pressure. Peterbot's going to go for that revive. Smitty trying to peek that shot over the top.
Oh, W teammate Peterbot, bro. W Pete sticking the res.
Just a little too short. If he's able to get them down,
I'm actually genuinely kind of surprised that he stuck that res. I thought he would have tried to help Cold fight him.
Cold and Ritual will stay alive yet again.
It's just the decision making and the speed at which he does it. No hesitation when Ritual gets knocked there to double edit down and immediately begin the, the pickup, right? While Cold is
W, I still want to see how Cold went down there. How did that Oracle guy take down Cold there? That must have been a crazy play.
Pop off as well. Very, very well played. I just love to see great teams compete. And those are the
Don't leave a man behind. What's up, Raz? How's it going, broski? Good day in the office. Good day in the office.
I'm just asking myself, like, does he even want to win or does he want to put on a show? Because Kelly, I believe it was talking about like 8, 9, 30 plus elimination games throughout the course just to get here. That is.
Are you darking out with Brian?
One of them was a 52 elimination win alone in the play-in stage, showing how
52 elimination game. That sounds crazy. Man, imagine watching that game. That would have been wild.
It's not enough to win. They want to break records. They want to smash records. Every single
I'm not sure, Sweenington. Maybe, yeah. It depends on what day it's on, Sweenington.
One of those situations where I almost fear.
I love gassing up the girls and supporting the female scene, man. It depends whether they put it on during other major tourneys or not, though.
Game after game after game.
It was 56, wasn't it? Yeah, 56, yeah.
Inside of the battle royale where just dodge Peterbot, stay as far away from them as possible.
Yeah, and sometimes, you just don't even know what you're getting yourself into, right? Pretty sure he plays in these lobbies with anonymous mode on, so you really have to pick your poison wisely, if you will. Take a look at this though. Island controlled right now by Oliver OG and Penn Larson and another team, Cirque there, off in the distance. They're just trying to get past, but I have a chance here to move. Still, med miss in hands, probably gonna have to be used early here in the storm.
Either ranks being reset tomorrow. I believe the next day with the new season. Yeah.
The split-second difference from being able to place that build and a shot being able to sneak through. Now they know for sure there are 2 trios on top of this island. And just interesting to see the difference. A team like Peterbot choosing to take the shield medallion and everybody else choosing to kind of avoid it. And that's kind of like that double.
Oh, P was running it. Yeah, P was running the medallion earlier.
A little shield down when you are healing, but
yeah, P does actually run it most out of any team that we see. On EU, they almost never run it too.
Yeah, well, look, we saw that little mini shield.
You SQ the Prime for 3.
Come out in handy. Just the last game when they were in the zone there, they were completely protected. But yeah, that team.
Oh, the finals, I'll definitely watch Sweenington. $300,000 build duos, yeah. And when they do build female tournaments, I'm so much more down to watch it. When they do zero builds, it kind of like, I don't know, it feels very counterintuitive to what they're trying to achieve. They're trying to like platform the girls and like, develop the female scene and like, highlight how good the girls are. And they make it zero builds and it's like, that's not even the competitive game mode. Like,
they do want to climb higher and higher up the back of the mountain where they already have that mark.
So yeah, if it's builds all year, I'm definitely way more on board.
Let them have it. That's what I would be saying. Just let them have it right now. But it does look like there's just a stop, pause in this situation. The zone did open up on this side. They do have a good amount of elevation as well. So they essentially do get to pick and choose. And right now it looks like Ritual is already going over to claim both of these surge bases.
Home people have 6 of the 8 FNCS titles won by today's players. Ooh, so who are the other 2? Edgy? Who's the other FNCS winner in this lobby chat?
Now they have full control of this outer outskirts.
Pete and Cold.
Boone and team
Edgy.
saw the opportunity
Who's the other one?
of this spot starting to open up, but they couldn't account for
Vert in solos.
Trio coming out from the edge of
yeah,
the storm there.
Our solo champion, one of the most underrated winners.
Pulls far, and this is why you secure the launch pad first. You have options to play with now if you so choose, but they have full control of the right side of the map here, so they're just going to go on foot. No need to take the risk of air travel.
I agreed, Konais, agreed.
Yeah, essentially got a
Ritual has in one chat. Ritual came second. Ritual came second with Reed and then second with Pete last season.
Not too many teams are going to be boxed up, so they're going to claim that.
Did
side
Visuals
of
win
the
with
zone
Dukes?
as
No.
themselves. And since they know there's
No, that was Justice and Users.
Users.
Justice, Dukes, and Users.
Forward, try to pressure teams that are already in zone, or just continue to look
Thinking
back.
Millie with the Prime?
Like we've seen in previous games, try to get the damage and clean up some eliminations, pick up the loot, and reinforce their position before this next couple of zones. Skater, higher, Agent Jeff. From Lone Wolf Lair contested for the first couple of games. I believe this might be the first time they were uncontested at that drop, and look how far they've been able to stretch it.
Oh, nice, Jeff. Come on, son.
Turn that into
Come on, Jeff.
eliminations now. But do note if Jess,
I am not Ben, but
59
W that
kills,
guy.
That's not too good for an end game spot right
He
here.
won that in
Now, they do
28?
still have the medal, so big
I
plays
feel better soon, homie.
can start to open up for them, but it's not going to come without a fight. Meanwhile, Oliver OG and Penn Larson playing the underside of the cliff here. Just trying to keep a
Ooh,
low
loadout's
profile.
not
They have
looking
the
too hot.
damage, and they're positioning themselves differently, very much away from the rest of the trios here, kind of tucked in this corner.
Y'all, the Jimbon, Vancy, Dylan, so many subs, chat. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
So far away from everybody else. That edge of the mountain that is kind of opening up. Oliver OG kind of playing the role as the
I try,
IGL
Ferris, I try.
for this squad. And rightfully so. I feel like Oliver OG is one of those players that's just been consistently getting better every
Oliver
single
OG win,
season.
maybe,
He's
maybe, bro.
learning
Oh my
from every
God.
mistake that he
Remember
makes.
chat runs
And
like, no
this could be
spoilers,
the
don't
one,
check
especially
Twitter.
teamed up with NPen,
You'll spoil
who
yourself.
missed the last major one finals.
Hey,
And he
bud.
vowed to never miss another one again.
Gotta stay locked in, gotta stay sharp. Cold Ritual and Peterbot
2,300 above, and we got a
now at 9
beautiful zone
eliminations here.
pool.
Take a look at how they picked up the most recent. Oh, the reactions.
Yeah, there's so much time that. There's so much that guy could have done, huh?
Getting clipped.
Ooh, Cease is here.
Okay, looks
Come
like
on,
we have a new
Cease.
team going for height. Cease, Preston, and Joe
Oh,
are
well,
going
we kidnap
for
each
it
other.
too, though. They seem like they don't just want to roll over.
Look at
and
Rev
give
with the
that
tier
one up.
1.
They're gonna go ahead and fight for it.
We need to get back-to-back.
Wait, really,
20
Maris?
elimination games. And Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual. They already have 10 double digits.
We're gonna show
already
Pete's
been
kill
achieved.
again,
They're
are we?
still out here
Okay.
picking
Or
up
Cold's
those
kill again, I
key
should say.
eliminations. Slate was just by himself, separated from the rest of his team, and I can't blame his teammates not going back from or trying to help at all.
Ooh,
You
Bryce
sometimes
G-Mino sit on
just
the
have
far
to continue
side.
on as a
That could be a
duo.
game winner. Maybe they didn't look too healthy, though. I'm gonna be honest. They didn't look too healthy.
Below now, though, for Boone, Sigma, and Decky. It is not looking too hot for this team right here. They have to get
Oh, Jeff's team just
absolutely
high.
active
Just
here
went down on
shortly,
Jeff's team. No.
or this damage is going to start to ramp up. Plenty of options all around them. Just pick one and get the commitment going. Seems like they're going to be content to try to wait this one out. And these are those decisions that you're going to have to live with here. This is one of the
Or
first
die
big
with.
end games we're seeing them start to appear in. So
Oh no.
it's now or never.
You think Pete purposely won't win this game? Nah, I think if Pete can win this game, he'll win it. Visuals already through, so there's no point like playing to try to grieve Visuals. I think if Pete's in the position to win this game, he'll win it.
That surge threshold.
Like he's gonna try to win anyway. We'll see though. It's not that simple. It's not that easy. There's still quite a few good teams in this lobby, man.
Up until now, that's Larson, but there's still 3 more that need to go down before Storm Surge deactivates. But now it's 9 zone.
Actually, I'm guessing Pete's probably going for kills. Like based on last game, I think he's going for high kills.
There's a
So
little too much happening here for them to just wait this one out, but let's lock in here. Peterbot, Ritual, Cold.
Quite often he
playing
wins
low
with lots of
ground
kills
here,
though, so we'll see.
rotating to the front side. I think we're seeing
I want to see Edgy win it. Come on, Edgy.
early strategy of how they want to play the grand finals in the weeks to come.
I want Edgy to win it. We got G Money still in here as well.
Slate to the hands of Peterbot, but look at that. While that was all happening, they were going for high ground now, so it seems to be kind of changing the tide here a little bit.
Cease.
Yeah, ever since they went up, I don't think anybody's really had a chance down below to even look up and see what it even looks like. There's not too much information.
Was that Donnie? Oh, I forgot Donnie's here. We're fighting Craze. We're fighting Craze. Yo, Josie, Donnie, and Craze. Getting out of there. Nice defense, boys. Oh, no, not Jeff.
Goes down. That's Golden sidelined by a whole nother team, but all the loot falls down into their box.
I was just about to say, wait, that wasn't them that picked up
Oh,
that
Rice
elimination.
with the res.
Someone else did end up
Oh, we don't have a lot of
crashing
meds.
on through. Rice, G Monster, Osid though. Little
It's edgy.
glimmer of light starting to come through the darkness here as we are in the final moments of this end game here. Meanwhile,
Joji,
Swappy
Donnie, and
Zembo
Craze on the
still
low ground
holding
fighting
up
edgy.
this high ground right now, still looking pretty solid on the low
Ooh,
ground.
nothing happened to the
Ritual
feed.
and Cold
Maybe they've
Knuckles
topped over
catching the
them.
flash coming through. There it is. Just keeping them absolutely swift and dangerous here. Clearing
I think
out
someone's going to take
all
high ground soon.
opposition
That high ground team
in
not looking
every
too
single
healthy.
way. On into another box.
Donnie again, bro.
Yep.
Donnie's team having to hold off Peterbot again.
With the team in front of him, and Peterbot having to heal up the best that he can, but he's ready to switch gears at a moment's notice, defending the backside of that
Donnie's
zone.
team
But
takes
Cold
down
goes
Cold.
The shots
Wait a
finally make their way
second.
through. Storm just eating Peterbot
Wait a
alive.
second.
They figured
Cold
out a way
down as Pete and Ritual.
get inside of the zone along with Ritual, but they have no HP to replenish, so it's elimination or
Ritual
nothing.
tries to
And
get
this
some
is the golden
payback.
opportunity, but Ritual misses that one.
Yep, but we're still inside of a top 10 here. Another team jumps on. It's going to be up to Ritual here to find
Oh.
his refresh here. Instead, he gets down to low ground.
Nice. Good position, Richie. Richie
Gets
last
in place
alive.
to rotate. Another
Oh,
trio's there, too.
173.
Right
Richie's the
in front of
GOAT, bro.
him. Quick tags
Oh,
onto
shit.
Nexi.
Another
Looks for
one.
the
Oh, my
finish.
God.
Tries
Richie's
to get
fucking
the ball up on
crazy.
the opponent as well, and he does
W Richie.
just that.
No,
Can
he gets stuck in the
Ritual
box,
finish
though.
this three-man pickup, but no.
Player behind him.
Didn't
How are
get
we
the
letting this
points
team
in
on
the
height?
end. It doesn't
It's a
matter,
duo
though. They're
topping in
still
wood on
making
height. NA,
end-game
what are we doing? Look up.
appearances. Meanwhile, now everyone else
Ooh,
has an
wait a
opportunity
second.
to try to take
Craze
this
to Grands
dub
would be
home.
so
Joji
big.
and Prom
Come
are
on,
picking up
Craze.
Donnie
Prom
here.
FV, baby. Come
They're
on.
still in the game.
Come
That's
on.
a running low, though. It seems like every team is wearing the damage on their sleeves here.
Chance is still here as well, though.
Zone
Edgy
cuts
could win
back.
this.
They're hiding
Oh my God,
right
Wedgie.
underneath high ground. Zemo.
Wait, I don't think Edgy even needs to win. I think Edgy's like secured it off points now. Joji on 176
Two
too.
more eliminations go through. Golden, Bryce, G Money all getting taken down. Joji just trying to keep.
Come on,
his
Joji. Show him you still got it,
position
son.
secured,
Come
but
on.
swiftly running out of builds. Chance goes down to the backside of zone. There are so
Oh,
many
shit,
trios
Wedgie.
that are being separated from the rest of their team as Edgy falls, bringing us one step closer to the end.
Joji
3v1,
Donnie
baby.
picked up match, but no,
3v1,
he
let's
couldn't actually
go.
secure him in
Prom
time, so
FV,
instead goes
baby.
straight for the fight, tries to get the edit breakout, finds Ozone, and then closes
My
out
man,
the game.
he got to go to his
Joji
prom.
and Prom do
Got to
it once
have his
again,
cake and
they
eat it
made
too.
their way
You got to be
straight
happy for
to the
Craze, man. He said
finals.
since the start he didn't
That was
regret
a
going to prom
big
at all.
game for them, and we've
W
seen
Donnie.
in some of the biggest
Joji, Craze, and
situations,
Donnie,
1v3
the
through
goats.
group stages
Hell
to
yeah.
win a game, and we're
Super
gonna
happy
see
for
him
him,
one
man.
more time
Fuck
in
yeah.
the major 2 finals, and that's really taken those opportunities.
All right,
I
we'll make
thought
this one
that
Craze,
team
chat.
of
We'll make
Swappy
it
was gonna go
Craze.
through uncontested,
K-R-A-E-Z. If you can't spell Craze, you don't get the V-Bucks. You want to win some V-Bucks? Type the word Craze in chat. We're going to game 5 Peterbot too. But so I think Pete's already across the line, and I think Edgy might be across the line now too. On the consistency, we'll see. We'll see. W.
Cost them everything to get up and over.
So happy for
But
Craze, man.
luckily, in the end, their team stuck together. What a game! It looked like 12 eliminations here.
I would love to hear that win reaction if we have it, bro. Craze is going to be yelling for sure.
Joji, Donnie,
Thank you,
and Prom
Tino,
there.
with the prime for 4. Thank you, Tino.
Bro, absolutely. I love that MDF as well points out that even though they're getting these impact eliminations, it's just not enough, right? That's just how chaotic these last few moments of these games
I'll
can
explain
be.
the Prom
To
FV
see
name
them
in
walk
the
away
gap
with
once they're done
double-digit
talking here in
VR,
case you guys
that's
haven't been
gotta
following
feel
comp.
good. And of course, this is Donnie. This is the guy we saw 1v3 last major that
Oh,
left
that
us all
1v3
shocked.
was so
to see them
good.
secure themselves that spot to go into finals, I'm very
That
excited to
1v3
see
was
them.
awesome.
Also to do it as a new trio as well. I think
All
there
right,
was
10
just
more
some
seconds, chat. We'll call the
question
Craze
marks on how
giveaway.
this team would synergize with each other. I mean, Donnie and Joji and Craze as well, all having pretty decent performances throughout the last few finals that we've seen. To have them all join
Ooh.
together now, I think that there's a lot of
All right,
potential.
we'll call it there.
I
Thank you,
think over
Entry
the
Chat.
next 2
Appreciate
weeks,
y'all.
as they get to prepare for those major 2 finals, we're going to see them even being more polished, Vivid.
Yeah, I mean, outside of game number 3 there,
Oh, Vader Dad wins one. Let's go, Vader Dad.
The team on the low ground that can kind of pick up some of these refreshes and stay alive as a healthy trio will eventually be the ones that come out with the win there. But incredible stuff, right? As you can see them, they're just
Edgy is a good game. Does he? I thought Edgy was doing pretty well on points. I'd have to check. I gotta look at the leaderboard. It's kind of hard to tell with the top 5.
Players who are in the midst were a little bit shambles, who are definitely not as healthy as them. Just really well played. And as you can see, they're just always kind of being aware of what they're going to be doing as a team. All 3 of them kind of making the same shots at the same time. Very clean from this trio.
Yeah, and I could be mistaken.
Win
so
reaction
feel
on
free
Donnie's
to
Twitter?
correct me if I'm wrong.
Nice.
I believe Prom is Craze.
Yes.
And there's like a whole bunch of craziness going on with that from, just jumping around trios. But again, congratulations to them getting themselves that Victor Royale. Now they can just chill, start.
Oh my God, W in reaction.
Top 4. Hold for me. Hold.
Yeah, we're holding.
Play ulti low. Drop one. Come.
No, it pulls up. Is it pull
Okay.
up? It does. Come here.
Okay. Playing right on you.
Watch out.
Nice calm comms too. They're not panicking, which
I
is
have 10
good.
builds. Spray ulti height.
Wait,
Top ulti
Craze
height.
first time IGLing. Wait.
Coming down. Full box.
Come on.
With you. Chill. He's up.
100.
Nice. I have 4 builds. He's going back. They're playing Storm.
Come here. Come to me.
In zone. Get it in.
Nice.
100. I'm a box.
Good
60.
knock. That
Whoa.
knock in Storm was
I
big.
chopped him. Get it in. All the way back in zone.
They
All the way
played
back
this
in zone.
so well.
Above. Chopping.
Chop.
Chopped it.
100.
Let's go.
They played that so well.
Oh, too easy.
That's exactly what I saw coming.
Easy.
Dude, we're crazy. All we need is
Oh my god.
All we need is a zone, bro.
I knew that celebration was going to be a loud one for sure. Okay, so if you guys haven't been following what's going on with Craze, why he's called Prom FV, Craze got picked up by Booga and Threats. And then Booga and Threat, he told them, hey guys, I can't play the last week of divisional cuts for FNCS. I've got my SATs and prom. They said, it's fine, bro. We're not going to drop you. But then Rapid left his team of Bolt and Yapko to play with Booga and Threats. And they were still like, no, we're not going to drop Craze. We're going to play with Rapid just for. And everyone was like, but then why the fuck would Rapid do that? So it was super obvious. Then they ended up dropping Craze for Rapid. So he made his name Prom FV. But I do want to point out, Craze went from being an Oliver OG subscriber. That's literally all anyone knew him as, like 3 seasons ago. An Oliver OG subscriber, played with Oliver OG, then played with Bucky and Okus, has now left Bucky and Okus, played with Booga and Threats, got dropped by Booga and Threats, and is now his first time IGLing. And he's just made grands. That's a pretty fucking impressive, like, come up. I'm not going to lie. And just won a solo cash cup. Mama went from an Oliver OG subscriber to a grand finalist IGL and solo cash cup winner within like 3 seasons. It's a pretty fucking insane come up when you think about it. That's insane. W Craze. Very excited. Is he 0 ping? Yes. I believe he lives in Dallas normally. Oh my god, Craze. Let's go, baby. Good shit, bro. Happy for you, man. Very good shit. Chat, do you guys know something else about Craze? Which mouse pad he uses? Oh my god, it's my mouse pad. You guys could be as good as Craze well if you also use my mouse pad. It's arcleaf.com. It's in chat right there. If you want to buy one right now, it's only $39.95 USD. We ship within like 2 days, so you'll get it within like a week. We're sitting at 259 5-star reviews. We'll just go that one.
Welcome back, everyone, to the FNCS. This is
He does use my mouse pad, though. He does use my mouse pad.
Zeke, good job. Anyway, sorry about that. I had to talk.
Last
to
game,
someone.
chat. Last game. Let's go.
So that was game number 4. We saw Joji from.
So I had to pay tariffs. You do not have to pay tariffs. No.
The victory royale, secure themselves a spot in finals. But there's other
Hey, Pines to
things
find for 20.
that happened in that game, like Peterbot doing Peterbot things. It got a little scary there toward the end. It's funny, like when we watch Peterbot, it's kind of like. They're kind of like a train, right? Like they get going and it's like, okay, can anything stop them? And then
Prediction? I ran the prediction, bro. I called it and I reran it. It's going right now, man. If you want to put your channel points in on it.
Blow up the train.
1 game to go, chat. Let's go.
And hope that it doesn't come back. But Peterbot always comes back.
I love it. You know, once they hop on that train doesn't really stop for them, does it? But obviously, this train has.
Bro, that kill was like, what does that guy do? Like, my man's standing in a box and with a fully built natural wall, and he's dead within half a second. Like, what are you supposed to do there? I really thought the gold splash pickaxing was going to be stronger. Like, I thought that was going to be more of a feature, you know? The first night we got on and we saw that the gold splash lets you pickaxe quick, we're all like, oh shit, imagine like a full trio doing this, and no one's used it, basically. It hasn't been a feature at all.
Peterbot Cool and Ritual, it's like, wow, that they went down right there. Looked like they could have made it way further in the game, and then
no, Peterbot's already qualified, chat. He's qualified off points here. 249 points, he's through. Like, without a doubt, he's through.
17 eliminations.
So it's going to be whether he gets the last game win just for the bragging rights.
Talking about this year, because it's like, again, it just feels like that was a bad game for them, but still a lot of points for them to kind of put up right there.
Oh, I didn't check the leaderboard.
Obviously, the trio is still very, very good. Ritual.
I was going to wait till they check it, but I want to read it too. Okay, so let's take a good look at this. So we've got 1 game to go. So whoever wins this last game is going to go through to Grands. Fortnite Tracker, shitting his pants, nothing new. Yep. And then we've got Pete on 261. So definitely 100% safe. Golden 170, Bryce 149, Shadow, Scare, and Noisy. It's close right now. It's close. It's close. So we've got from Scare up right now. So 143 is currently the points to Qual, but it is close. It is very close for this top 5 outside of Peterbot.
Kind of like to split up.
So a lot of those teams are praying that Pete wins to take the spot, which then makes another one roll down to consistency. So
with another one of the players there, and you know, Richie, he's just that good. He's able to stay alive. Obviously, Peterbot and Colt are getting carried by him right now. So I'm glad to see that them as a trio doing pretty well in the consistency.
W Kelly.
I mean, doing great right now in first place when it comes down to the consistent teams, but yeah, it's definitely going to be a matter of them being on the front line right there. And as
Let's
you can
go,
see,
Kelly.
The lead right now for
the Richie gas.
Gosh,
100 points. Again, it doesn't really feel like that, does it, Zeke? But
hey, Coop with the prime for 6. Thank you.
yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. You know, let's just take the spotlight off of them for just a moment, okay? Because eventually we're going to end up talking about them on Run Finals anyway. I wanted to talk about here Scare, Edgy, and Chance. You can see the 143. So remember, at the end, we either want a Victory Royale or to end basically in the top 5, which is just think like the top 10, okay? These guys have just made it in, but the job's not done. We only have a single game left to go, Kelly, and with that being a 2-point difference, just
only 48 kills? I know, dog shit, bro. What happened to Pete, man?
Like 11th. You
guys remember Pete didn't suck?
It's actually a tie between 10th and 11th place. They're both at 141 points.
And
That's not good.
You can't. No, and you can't have someone like Edgy, who I think actually has the most FNCS finals performances out of anyone that is competing here today, and also one of the only FNCS wins out of for the 4 players we have representing there. So to imagine Edgy not making it into the Major 2 finals, that would be such a major upset, and especially with Chance and Scare on his team right there. You can see just how close they are, though, to that threshold, currently sitting at 141 points. Vivid in game 5. This is when we see some unique strats coming out from these trios that are going to try and get that ticket to the Major 2 finals.
Yeah, I mean, again, I tried to make a guess going into game number 4.
He lost his touch. Yep.
It's going to be necessary. It was like probably around like
he's
200
fading
points, right? And you kind of look at some of those trios, and some of them have less than 100 right now. So it's like, what the heck can they do to get to 200 points? Well, you can win. That's what you gotta love about.
Can I more than Edgy? Grand finals placements, yeah.
You can still make it into the finals.
But in Group 1, Edgy has the most.
And speaking on the pacing of the last couple of games, Zeke, right? That first zone has had our player count drop down to like 75 each time. Yeah. But these games in the early stages are getting super aggressive. That's probably because we're getting to the point where it's very, very hard to come back in terms of consistency.
Fade? We're doing like the Lightning McQueen.
And again,
Lightning McQueen, he's fading.
So like, I love you mentioned the win, but if someone even in that top
Cars
5
fans,
gets a win, we're then pulling one player outside, like further away in, right? So we're either going to have someone in that top 5 win a game here and shake things up, or we're going to have someone outside the top 5 win a game, and then you're like, okay, whoever's in the top 5, good luck. Hope you
We love cars. Who doesn't love cars?
This is it. One final game here to settle things for group number 1. So for the last time today,
same as normal default.
MDF, take it away.
Game 1, Visuals team tried to take the Dilbit server farm.
Consistency is
oh, by the way, chat, the reason why I keep calling it a server farm, in case you guys haven't seen it, it's literally a farm for Bitcoin. Like, it's like a Bitcoin mining farm thing. That's why it's all whole. It's like that's why it's a whole bunch of computers.
Out of the bubble, they can still have a chance here if they can win the game.
Yeah,
they're farming Dilbits down there.
That last opportunity, that last hope. By any means, for people that do not make the finals are out of FNCS because they got the last chance qualifier. But let me tell you, the last chance qualifier, that's the difference between landing at a POI and a split drop. There's a world of difference.
Well, they give you a shit ton of loot, and then you get to go take the train.
You don't want to have to go down there. So it's all up to this. Game 5, and it starts now. If you look down that leaderboard, it's a tie. If the games were to end now, there would be a tiebreaker scenario for teams that make it to the FNCS finals or not. So it could come down to literally, Monster, 1 elimination difference, 1 placement point differential, and it just goes to show that it ain't over until it's over.
Yeah, there's definitely some teams on the bubble right now that are looking to claw their way into that placement point threshold, and we really don't know what that's going to be, right? Vivid said he had his own kind of reservations, his own estimations, if you will, of what that number was, and it seems like we might be well off of that. So This is going to be a very interesting.
A tie's
point
based on
cutoff,
elims?
and,
Yes. Victory
only time
Royale,
will tell, right? If
average
it's gonna
elims
be
and average placement
180
is the tie
points
breaks.
or more.
Already we're seeing
Oh.
what's left of a fight that broke down. Rafiki's able to get 2 eliminations. Trying to spot out where that third player is at. Disengage all the way towards the side. They kind of marked him at the edge of the minimap. You kind of just see him looking over there. He's thinking, how am I going to go back? What am I going to do? What is the plan here? And luckily for him, it's the early games. There's some loot over there, and that split.
Is Jeff unconned again, a lone wolf?
Time to formulate something.
Shadow's down. No way. Shadow's getting dropped on it flooded, bro. That's crazy.
Around that magic mosses,
dude, this is
Shadow
insane.
Actually falls.
Shadow, Curve, and Tyler.
But look at this, Tyler and Curve.
Getting
So wait a
contested
second.
as the tournament goes on
Excuse
is
me.
crazy. And they're in 8th as well, bro. They're currently up there in the
Dissolving
consistency
quickly
points.
Last time for Tyler and
This
Curve,
is so
but
brutal. Come on, boys.
now
Come
it
on.
seems
You win
like
this.
It's kind of a fair and square. Both sides catching a bit of a casualty here. So they're looking to reset.
I know, right, Axtro?
That team that's contesting
The Tree
him,
of Wisdom, bro. That
was
that
the
guy
team
loves his
originally
job.
Contesting Asian Jeff and his trio over
Loves
towards
his
the lone
job.
wolf layer. So they didn't just switch drops to something that they thought was
Oh, this
uncontested.
is the wait,
due
the
to
Hall of
Victory
Fame.
Royale
Thank you,
winners not
JW.
having to play.
Sorry, bro. I
They just
appreciate
went
the Hall of
somewhere else
Fame
completely.
redemption,
They
man.
got
I'll fix
flooded
up after stream,
frogs, and
dude.
It's gonna be fight after
Much
fight
love,
for
homie.
them.
5 mil's
Lucky enough,
crazy.
Get a chance, split loot, continue on with the rest of the game, but not everybody is feeling that comfortable here.
War Silent and Wigs on the hunt right now. Looking pretty good. Psycho's got to hit these shots here. It's going to be all over, but can't come up and support his teammate in time. Instead, Doxy Slam's going to be the first to fall of this trio.
So NA West only has 2 heats Bex. So I don't know if typical game is in Heat 1 or 2 on NA West, but Heat 1 and 2 aren't until Saturday and Sunday on NA West, bro.
Control as well. Psycho takes a bit of fall damage on the way down.
So TT doesn't play until later this week.
And send them back. Speedy, buddy. I think you got to run here if you want a chance.
Heat 2.
No, he's just
Oh
gonna
my
put up
god,
his
it's
best
typical
and
gamers
most
IGL.
valiant effort, if you will.
What's up, Quinn? Good luck, homie. I'm proud of you, dude.
Originally in the fight, he had to close the distance to get to his teammate. If only somebody on his team let him know, hey, we're going to go down. You're going to need to stay alive. Don't even bother coming in this direction. But he tried to be the hero for his team. Ends up getting taken down early in the last game of the day. But their FNCS isn't over yet, Monster. They do still have the last chance.
Yeah, but also, Quinn, can you, like, maybe start throwing a little bit and make TG, like, kind of shit? Because I got a verse with the Pro-Am and it's feeling kind of fucking unfair here.
Sliding up in nice icy fashion here.
I've played the game for, like, 20 hours in 2 years, and I'm going up against a Divisional 1 finalist.
Teams would
FNCS
look to
Heat
avoid these
qualifier.
types of fights, right? Not play
I don't know who the fuck
necessarily
decided
aggressive,
this.
Especially if you're out of the
I think Tompa with the prime for 8.
for consistency points, right? You really want to play for the win. That's
He is so
certainly
primed,
hope for
evidently.
going straight to finals here, at least in this setting. Back on over.
Wait, the truck makes noises?
Would we say they learned their lesson? from
205,
game
188, and
four? Seems like they
183.
kinda mixed things
Damn,
up
this has
here.
been a really rough performance, I'm going to be honest.
You see the points needed to qualify from the last 3 groups last season were 205, 188.
Yo, Ray, thanks for Prime at 30, didn't he, Ray?
183. That position, 10th place, is about 141 to start the game. So you got to think it's going to be relatively
Oh, Nibby
close,
with
I
the
think,
make
to the
channel
lower
emo
half,
for a
the
week. I didn't know that was
88
even a fucking
183.
thing.
I
We
think
have that?
is going to be more realistic instead of just overall that 200 hump.
Yep, I was thinking the same exact thing.
Yeah, we can do that, Nibby. I can make that happen, bro. I can give you a channel emo for a week, bro.
After losing Shadow, play the outskirts here, just try to get their loot going.
Nibby, just DM me what you want it to be on
Keep in mind
Discord,
they
bro.
do
I got
own the
you.
Flooded Frogs, so now it's time to play for the
Thank you,
pickup,
Meggy
but
with the tier 1.
Boone, Sigma, and
Thank you,
Decky
Roberto
also
with the
in battle here
35.
To the far north, so not too far off.
He's all love today,
Seems
chat.
like they got
582
situated and got
subs.
straight
Thank you
to
so much,
action
chat.
as well.
I didn't know how the sick vibes were going to go. I felt kind of bad. I was like, do I just not stream it? Like, I don't want to stream it and just not be able to talk that much.
Honestly, I
But
think that's
thanks, guys.
east
I
of
appreciate
Flooded
you.
Frogs, north
I'll make sure I rest up over the next 3 days,
of
though. I'll be
Magic
good by group
Mosses
2.
as far as can be. They're just going to quickly climb up, kind of reset themselves in this situation.
She's already
They have
gone,
a lot of
Bushi. My
materials
wife's already
It's
taken
just kinda
Charlotte to the
scrapping
Wiggles
together what
live.
Resources are left, but this is how they put
Shit
themselves
on.
in that situation. It was Jace who did get taken down. That was a quick clean up and elimination. He just got
Peterbot win yet? Nah,
separated from the
Peterbot
rest of
has
his
not got to
team,
win
and
yet, bro. He's
3v1,
playing game
the numbers
5.
are stacked against you.
True, man. It's true.
Josh on the move
So
right now,
groups 2 and 3
looking
is
for
Saturday and Sunday, chat. There's quite a break. So the schedule this week, in case you guys don't know, tomorrow's a day off. Then we have Eval Cup, regular Battle Royale Eval Cup, and the Pro-Am announcement. I'll be live for that. Then we have Reload Eval Cup, which probably won't be live for. I would like to take another day off, just make sure I'm fully rested. Then we have Solo Open, Solo Finals, and then we're back to FNCS. So it's actually quite a while until the next round of FNCS.
right? That actually makes more sense. That's why he was kind of looking in those weird areas to see if anyone's lurking, but Death Encrypted stacks back on over to them right now.
Any group stacked? EU Group 2 is absurd.
Against Oracle and Smitty. We've seen them get taken out kind of in the mid-green.
There are 7 teams on EU Group 2 that I would be shocked if any of them don't make grand. So it's going to be like really intense.
You're kind of sitting on the sidelines, right? You can cool off. So we'll see if that kind of hurts their momentum.
Oracle, Smitty, they were the ones who snuck up, take on Peterbot one of them earlier games. But they're just getting approached from all angles. Encrypted is able to find a shot onto one. You see the material count from Oracle is super low to go after a prolonged fight. He's not really.
This area of the map's kind of cool looking.
A third-party team comes in. That might be exactly what they're looking for, as long as they don't become the targets.
Okay, this is pretty sketchy though. This is our 11th place team. Josh, Causes, and Magma, right? So they're on the bubble. They're literally on the line of qualifying right now. All they got to do is make endgame and stay the course. But for them to jump into what looks to be 6 players just starting a fight here is definitely a little too early. Meanwhile,
is there just straight up 0 loot, Quinn? Oh no. Oh, not OG. No, man. No.
Oh,
you win this, Empen. You win this, Empen. You win this.
Yeah, and his 2 teammates are already busy.
Come on, Empen.
Empen's not gonna get
shit, okay, Empen, fuck him up, son. Oh my god, okay, Empen.
Peterbot, but still not backing down. Instead of healing, he goes and re-challenges Empen. Cold and Ritual are able to clean up the others, and that's a
last chance it is for OG.
Down.
And that's crazy because Empen, right? Even with as much game sense as he has, he's like, oh, I even the playing field. I'm good. I can get out of here. Nope. Not against Peterbot. He's still looking to challenge. Being one shot.
All right, well, OG gonna be doing it through last chance qualifier.
Tough one. But you live, you learn.
One well-placed shot from Empen would have taken him down. Like, not many other players would have re-challenged in that situation. But you called out 11th place. We saw 13th place over on this side of the map, all congested with more and more teams moving in. Shadow Curve Tyler, a team that's inside of that consistency bubble. They're able to get their teammate back up, and you see them disengaging towards the north, still in zone, but because they know this is too risky of a situation, because they would kind of have to sit on the sidelines if they got eliminated and watch and hope the points that they've been able to accumulate up until this point, which is only 147, would hold. So I like that idea from them.
I mean, I like what we see developing here. We're watching our 8th place team and our 11th place team somewhat traverse near one another, right? So if they end up clashing, I mean, it's going to be direct standing implications, right? Direct final spots on the line.
G-Money needs this too. G-Money really needs this.
We check in with another team that is
155. Nice, G-Money.
G-Money and, of course, Bryce. They have continued to look very, very good so far here on the day.
Taking Doggo with the Prime for 2.
Another solo here. It's Vedits, Plaz, and CR. So Plaz is no longer on the playing field.
Right. G-Money knows he'd lead all trios in builds.
CR took some damage.
I don't know what to do with that information, but now I know it.
This is where it's going to be hard, even though it is going to be a
I feel like that's the definition of so many of the King stats. I'm like, I don't know this information, but I now have it at least.
Continue to run, beeline it to the other side. They don't even want to stay and try to attempt the fight.
Raffy with the Prime for 3.
So this could be a good chance for them to try to disengage. It's just a matter of OSID, G-Money, Bryce. Did they split up? Did they take different angles? One from above, one
G-Money
from below.
cut him off, bro.
CR did not get the memo. G-Money goes over the top to cut him off and not give any exits up.
Yeah, Bryce is just getting mixy on the low ground there, but it seems like they have things
65 alive. We getting aggressive.
Skate his way out the side. There's so many exits that you could take.
See you, player. Have a good one, bro. Thanks for watching, man.
Vedits just
thanks, dude.
Lurking and walking his way.
I don't know how to say CR's name. CR from the work. Is this what I just kind of mumble it? Like sure from work.
First elimination, Plaza is the first one to kind of go down.
Oh shit! Here he is taking the fight against CR from the work.
CR didn't even build. He's just trying to hide. Wait for G-Money, but wasn't able to really attack hard enough, and G-Money just had a whole advantage in terms of HP and shield. Just one shot, really all it took.
Yeah, I don't know what from to wick means though. Like, I don't know what that means. What's WIC?
Points. This is a team that when you ask a lot of the community to try to make their predictions, do they get in with a game win? Do they get in for consistency?
He's fighting.
It's almost unanimous.
Oh, it's so
Consistency
easy.
was going to be the key for their success here today.
Well, let's see how consistent these other trios can be up against the likes of the strongest in the lobby right now. They're getting swarmed up.
It's the hood in America?
If they don't start
Oh.
making a move here.
The wick is O block, where
just gonna
Chief
start running
Keef is
out of real
from.
estate
Oh
shortly.
shit, he's gangster like that. Damn, okay. Hell yeah.
What we saw best was when a team put their back against an indestructible wall and then played different, side angles, if you will. But putting yourself right in the middle, I mean, you're just asking for one of them to find an opportunity, and that's what Peterbot's looking for right now, an opportunity, a chance. But Cold is there to find it. The trade comes out. Both sides are punished, and
He 1v1.
it's all
Wait a
up to
second.
Peterbot now, but he
Oh,
evens the
Pete
score.
whiffs.
Now it's up
Pete
to
whiffs.
Can get the shot. Look at this. He slides out the side there.
Oh, Pete whiffs.
Okay,
Wait a second.
escapes ever so slightly
He whiffs
back his
again?
teammates, but Cold
Wait a
is gonna make the
second.
call there.
Hello?
He sees what's happening. K's secured the elimination here, Jacob.
Yeah,
He's
Virtual's
fading.
still down, so there's a chance that Peterbot could go for the revive, try to bait out his teammates. But I think Hayes is trying to do that same thing. Go for the res, force Peterbot into him in this situation, and it's going to work. But Peterbot gets the first cleanup on Elmizi. That
Never
was
mind.
a knock. Now he's in a 1v1. 2 quick shots, just a sliver of HP remaining, and Peterbot, like a shark in the water, he smells his next victim, and he's ready to take him
Pickaxe
out.
him.
But just a sliver,
Pickaxe
just 1
him.
HP. He's barely surviving, and you see him
Pickaxe
backtrack
him.
all
Do
over
it.
to Ritual to
Do it.
deny the siphon opportunity. 200
Yo,
IQ out of
W
Peterbot
Pete
as he now
going
looks
for
to
the
stick
res on
revive.
Ritual again
Yeah, I was
over
gonna say,
pushing the
very
kill. That's
smart.
twice
I mean,
this
he knew
tournament.
that the siphon could have come through for K there to go ahead and, kind of
Pete
put him
giving
back
up
in
a
the
kill
game
to
there,
say,
give him a
oh,
little
no,
more
he's never mind. He's
confidence,
chasing him.
but
Oh, fuck, he's chasing. Never
He
mind.
takes off. He takes the only chance that he gets to
Oh,
take off here, and
Oh.
Peterbot's hunting. He's looking
oh,
around.
Pete
He's
doesn't know
like,
where he
wait
is.
a
Oh,
second,
Pete
if
heard
he's
him. He
gotten
popped
that
meds.
far,
Pete heard the
of
meds.
course
Pete heard the
he's gonna
meds.
Catch the visual effects. I was going to say of the heals here, and there's nowhere you could go. Peterbot's kind of toying with him at this point. There it is. The full finish. I
Yo,
thought
good
he was
effort,
gonna
though. That man
troll and
survived for a
hold
while.
him there, but
He survived for a while.
he gave him a little more
Double
respect.
boxed him. Like, what is he's just so quick. I would
If
love
Pete
to have,
doesn't
like,
win,
some sort
doesn't
of,
that mean that he could
actions
take
per
the
minute
spot of a
test go
different
down on some of
consistent
these
team and
Fortnite
give the win to a
players?
possibly
Peterbot has
worse
to be
team
above and beyond one of the quickest
that got
players,
lucky
but
to
a lot of
seed
these
Grands in his
fights,
favor?
You see that mythic Sentinel pup just dealing so much
I
damage.
see the
even
vision of where you're coming from, but I think we're
just
overthinking it. So
impressive
you're
is-
saying that
impressive isn't even the
if
word
Pete is
anymore.
like on high ground about to win this game, it's more advantageous for him to not win the game, let a shittier team win, assuming that they're worse, to make a worse team in Grands than a more consistent team.
Pressure being that they can't afford to fall here. They are inside the top 10. They're in the consistency stretch.
I see the
if you
vision,
will.
but I think in a battle royale you
They
can't
need to
guarantee.
survive. They need to end
You know what I mean?
game. And for some,
I see the vision though. I see where you're coming from. I see the
all
vision.
the more difficult, right? Can you perform under pressure? Of course, they've made their way to several finals in the past through victory royales, and of course, consistency.
But yeah, you got to assume if a team got second and is healthy, then they're probably a decent team as well. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
Anything can happen. Seen it all go down today, from ambushes to big clutch plays.
It's not the worst cook we've had.
Noisy Creon and Tony. When we talk about the line of consistency, 141, they are the team in 10th place, 5th on that consistency leaderboard, and they are winning the tiebreaker monster due to just a little bit more elimination.
It's an interesting little theoretical. Ooh, Shadow and Tyler still going, chat. Wait a second. Shadow Curve Tyler still going. I really want them to make finals, bro. They deserve to be in Grands, dude.
With everybody around you, getting Storm Surge is something that
The fact that they went from uncon to con later in a tournament when teams are auto-qualled through is just disgusting. I don't know how the fuck that's happened.
They're trying to be proactive.
Shadow Curve and Tyler's team are way too good
Most of the teams will have to
to
rotate
go
in
from being
around.
uncontested to contested. That's weird as fuck.
Void just waiting this one out though. Gonna catch one of them off guard. Now, game 4, there was something similar
I'll say
happening
shout out to the
here as
bathroom real
well
quick.
between these teams kind of fighting at the seaport, but Smiley, Max, and Salt did not make it the distance. Ultimately, they were one of the few to go down. Look at this ambush. Talking about teams, waiting for chances. That's exactly why. Just like that, you never know. And a big elimination here. Okay, this is a This is a game changer for them right now. Curve, Tyler, and Shadow have now effectively fought their way through, defended their way through 2 big engagements so far. So really and truly, it is not being given to them by any means. They are working for it here in the last game of the evening. Now at 162 points here. Jacob, look at them just continue to work the lobby.
Yeah. Couple of these quick and early eliminations not only helps the point because how close the gap is. I do believe they started at 147. It's helpful for the Storm Surge, which we know is a huge part of this game. Fifth zone though, 58 players left in this game. You're seeing how active the lobby is.
I don't think I've peed so many times in a single stream in my life. I've been just constantly sipping on water, teas, soups. Like, I'm just doing everything to keep my voice from dying. Pissing like a racehorse out here, bro.
Left behind, and as soon as Peterbot heals up and find his way back, good luck to you.
Yeah, watch how it goes down. 160. Again, the damage that this shotgun can output is definitely scaled up. All right, it's the best in the game. It's the best available in the hands of Peterbot. He makes full use of it. Jacob called it best there. Saw it coming.
You know, I see it all the time where players in the same lobby as Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual. And
Thank you, Opal, with the 2 on for 9. Thank you, bro.
Let them deal with the lobby for us. And I think that in Game 5 here, with how aggressive they've been throughout Games 3.
What do you have? Don't know, man.
That might be a viable strategy. Just sit in your box, sit in your cone. Storm Surge isn't going to be very, very active until maybe zone 7, 8. Ooh. And they claim another one. Launch pads are a huge
He's popping off, bro. Let's go.
From team to team, taking names and checking them off their list.
I'm surprised he didn't just use the kneecapper there to just go ahead and send them flying off the boxes. Cold.
What's up, Cookie?
Follows up very proficiently already now. Peterbot though.
Oh, Peterbot versus Wiggs. No, Wiggs one of my subs, bro.
As well as the team in front of him. So
Ref, do something. Ref, do something.
But no worries. You have someone like Cold here to back you up.
Well,
here goes the finish.
It's almost crazy to think about that with so many competitors in this lobby, some still fighting for that consistency leaderboard. That it almost
yeah, the pickaxe is crazy.
Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual rotate
the
near
double pickaxe as well. Oh my god, bro. Not even the 20 HP pickaxe, bro. The 40 HP pickaxe.
Slow them down, force them to disengage. They live to tell the tale. But not too many players today have been able to say they can do just that.
Well, hopefully the wrong team doesn't end up near them, because there are teams that we're seeing, like Causler's team and Magma, Josh here, who still have a chance if they can stay alive
Conan.
to the end game here. Ozone has
bro, the broadcast has been absolutely
Void and
just airing out everyone's shitty plays today, bro. If you guys didn't watch EU this morning, oh my god, they had to make sure they replayed how a player died on height, because we didn't see them die to fall. So the casters mentioned they died to fall. We talked about them dying to fall. Then they went back and replayed them dying to fall. Then did a wide shot to show the whole team dying to fall. Like, it was like, fuck. The Frenchies were getting absolutely disrespected.
On the other side of the mountain, but you saw they drop back further into zone and then drop the med miss. Exactly that. They just wanted to make sure there was no chance anybody was going to look over and see that med miss.
Yeah, poor Floki, man.
Them a target as Cold continues to clean house. That's their, I believe, 14th elimination of the game.
Oh my god, they just
close to it, maybe 11.
They were 11. Now we're at 12.
The replay.
Oh, never mind. No, wait, I don't know how many we're on. Oh my god, 13. We're at 13.
I was gonna say, even before the replay played, I was about to make the
come on, Shadow Curve Tyler. Come on, boys. All right, chat. We do have to see which other team's qual here. This is still a big deal. This is still a big deal.
It's like an elimination is unfolding. It's so quick. It makes it look like a highlight reel. Curve, Tyler, and Shadow, though, have managed to avoid that storm on the other side. But look,
oh, we're going for the 20 bomb, baby. We're going for the 20 bomb.
His eliminations here. He's at 3 as well.
That's right. Shadow's on the other side of the map. I'm happy. I just don't want him to grieve Shadow, man.
Wait, my math is way off. They're at 4. Is that 14?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was I'm telling you, it was the replay that got us both in that moment.
Pete's like actually just going for clips.
This is just confidence. He knows he has his spot secured. He almost feels like there was no world that he wasn't going to qualify. And like I said before, it's making a statement time.
Bro.
It's not all about winning.
Dude, building at this speed with the medallion on is crazy. Bro, being able to keep up with Gold Splash medallion full pace is just insane.
3,000 damage above the.
I remember when I watched Polarized do a free build on her Pepper, and I was like mind blown.
He's burning the material because he just can for fun.
Thank you, J-Dog. Thank you, Nordic subs, guys.
As well, so this is all for good measure. And again, if you are in the running for qualifying right now through consistency, you're happy Peterbot's doing what he's doing as long as you're hiding right now.
Making Cold just staggering back. He knows a couple players are still deep in the zone, and they're immediately just looking back there. But Cold takes a little bit of a shot. Still not enough to start to boot the confidence. Players all around.
Sorry, we got to see who else Qual's here though, man. Osid, Bryce, and G Money. So Qual's going to be around this like 180, 190 mark, chat. So keep an eye on any team around that point.
There's no more mountains, or at least not in the next zone.
Well, here it goes. Down and
He's sad for the tier 1 things, bro.
Into flat territory now. Everyone's gonna pretty much get a little bit of a reset here for the setup at the Brutal Box cars. Take a look at the highlight though. While the rotates.
Another highlight, bro. Yeah, okay. Take a look at the other highlight, bro. They went off Pete's team for like 30 seconds to show another team, and then we're still throwing it back to a replay. Like,
to 20 eliminations there.
The broadcast realizing why I have a PPOV.
Can they do it?
What can I do? Salt. Unlucky, bro. Unlucky, man.
Wait a second, though. Gotta be careful. That's a team that can qualify
Oh,
here.
Bryce, G-Money, those two are running, bro. They're running. Oh, no. Not G-Money, no. Pete, leave him alone. Leave him alone.
And he was in that same situation not too long ago with Peterbot knocking at the door.
Oh, yeah, we're just literally running at everyone sick. We just don't care. We're at 18 kills.
And finally reinforcements come in. Cold is ready to shake things up. It's basically a race between Cold and Peterbot for eliminations. They look at it as a mini game within inside of the game, and they know they're stuck in Brutal Box.
Kids are going to accuse the broadcasters of blazing by showing this.
Cold finds another one. He's trying to breathe. Exhale goes down, and he's just hovering over the opponent.
Oh, Cold. Wait a second. Cold gets stuck in an awkward spot, though.
To breathe here with a good shot on the Cold. That's going to slow things down, but only for a short moment.
There goes the siphon to keep him alive.
I bet Richie's just sitting up here as well, right? Richie's just sitting up here, just holding it down. Richie's just... Bro, I mean, my man's getting money. He's getting paid. I'm sure he doesn't care, but bro, just sitting up above and just playing like being like the reset point. You know what I mean? He's just holding down camp while they just drop down and go crazy and then come back up for meds and then go back down and come back up and go back down. He just sits up there and just watches, bro. He's just watching, just holding it down.
One of the few to fall there to the hands of Peterbot right now. Not few, one of the many, I should say. So it's all the more closer for them. Look at this, points here as well.
Oh, Richie gets killed on a stacks though. Bryce gets a kill. Nice. Let's go, Bryce. Good shit.
I'm still seeing 35 players alive. So it's like 2 different games.
Yeah. And down below, you can see everybody scare, Edgy, Chance, Champs, QK Cold. They're all trying to get the front side of the zone. They're trying to stay away from
Come on, Tony.
Claims another one. Stacks now is on that list, sent back to the lobby.
So, chat, we're trying to see teams get around that 190 mark. 190, hopefully should be enough. So Ozone should be good here. Ozone should be good.
At least he has Void trying to tarp to the front side of the zone. This gives him an opportunity here to slow things down. Looked back for any opportunity.
Oh, come on, Edgy. Come on, Edgy.
Going back up towards that mountain.
See, but they've done good. They've made it past that 200
How many points is Edgy on?
Should be feeling pretty confident, but you never really know, right? Pressure still on to go ahead and survive here. 12 teams remaining now. Peterbot's team at 20 eliminations here. And counting as they're working their way down the lobbies now. Meanwhile,
Edgy's on backside of zone. No, Ozone's 207. I want to see how many points everyone's on. I need to see Shadow Curve Tyler's points. Oh, Pete's on tops though. Pete's on tops.
Elimination after elimination. Drops down yet again. They separate one, almost box him up.
Gets out, nice.
Doesn't want to take the risk to continue to fight that. Separates himself and immediately
Osid goes down. I think Bryce has done enough though. I think Bryce has done enough.
Player of that trio alive to try to keep themselves inside of the consistency bubble.
Yeah, they're trying to
oh my god, nice aim by Cold. Nice, 192. Come on, Tyler Moore. No, I don't think that's enough. I don't know if that's enough. That might be enough. 195. I don't know. That's gonna be so close, bro. How many points is Creon on? We're in the tunnel. We're in the tunnel. Wait, the tunnel, but the zone's going up. We can't go in the tunnel. It's not going straight up the tunnel. It's going above the tunnel. No. Dude, what the fuck is going on? What are we watching? Even if I had my voice, I couldn't cover what the fuck this is.
chance here. Onto Magma they go. Another Elim punts through.
Yo, Cold with a 13 though. Damn.
Tries to find his way around.
Peek down.
Siphon tip. No.
Wait, who? Wait, are we giving the win to someone else? Wait.
Cold is sort of
Oh my God, Creel's gonna get the win. Oh my God, Creel's gonna get the win. My Hispanic voice. Vamos! Wait, that's so bad. Wait, that's so bad for Edgy and Shadow. Wait, that's so bad for Edgy and Shadow though, because then Pete didn't get the win point, so now he's taking a consistency one. Oh no, that's really bad for Shadow and Edgy. Oh no.
To the major 2 finals.
And, you know, it's nice to see a team like that win the game, right? They had some.
Well, no, but like that's an example of giving the win not to a bad team. Crayon's team is good. Crayon's team is definitely good.
With as good as some of those other trios are, you have to stay the course. You can win a game. Take a look from their perspective.
So wait, they got in. They were in the tunnel and got out of the tunnel. Nice.
Committing to the mountain with possibly no escape plan, but they end up making it work. They timed their exit perfectly, and then they are
Pre-Zeke gig? Oh yeah. Tony was in on consistency already. Oh, was he? Okay, I didn't see how many points they had. Okay, nice.
Gameplay here today for this group stage, Jacob, and I gotta say they played very, very well in the end.
Yeah, we know the 5 teams that already advanced throughout the game winners through the day.
Oh yeah, sorry, giveaway. We'll make it Tony, chat. Tony Tony. Sorry, that'll be last VBOT giveaway of the day. And then they're gonna show the leaderboard straight away without the break, so we'll wait. Tony, chat.
We need to know, Zeke, who is making it through consistency.
Woo, baby.
Thank you so much, MDF and Jacob PR. Love hearing you guys call all the action. Okay. So obviously, big congrats. We got Noisy, we got Cram, we got Tony. They got themselves the victory out in those final few moments. And again, we've seen it time and time again. Old Man Mountain will absolutely claim its toll.
Oh my God, Sundown. The Sundown line. It's the Sundown thing.
Yeah, Peterbot, just go ahead and mulch the rest of the lobby for us. They walk away with the win. Man, after 5 games, it's been a roller coaster, I feel like, Kelly, to say the least.
Oh yeah, and a roller coaster, especially for this trio right here, and that's what you want to see when you are in that top.
So, Tab, you guys want to V-Box? Type about Tony in chat. TONY. We'll draw the winners and DM you off. Got like 10 more seconds, and then we're gonna check out this leaderboard, see who's qualified. Tony jumped on the Zamboni.
One against Cold. Peterbot and Cold, though, I know we've said their name 1,000 times, and we'll say their name 1,000 times more. Put up such a good fight. Vivid, that is the Peterbot and Cold that we've known and loved over the last year
and a half.
Yeah, I mean, it just gets better and better every time, doesn't it? 26 eliminations in game.
All right, chat, we'll call it there.
A lot of people got there.
Thanks for love today, chat. I do really appreciate it. I know I keep saying it, but insane viewership today. Thanks for support, guys. Follow, subs, likes. You guys are great. Let's check who's made this top 10, baby.
Stat line. Let's remind ourselves of who got themselves the victory royale.
All right, our 5 winners. We already know. Oh my God, Jesus Christ. Aviv, Taki, Visuals, Joji, and Noisy. Nice.
And then after that, we're going to take it to the leaderboard. Whoever ends in the
you
top
said
5
tier 1?
consistency, which just, when you look at that top 10, just look at the top 10 to and through 6th. They're the ones who made it through the top 5. Here is the list there. Now we have to start turning attention to these standings. There's a couple little things I want to call out, but first, of course, we have to look at who made it in that top 5. As we prepare these standings, there is going to be, I'll go ahead and spoil it now. A trio barely missed out on the top 5 by 4 points.
Not Peterbot.
And we'll get there. Is it Peterbot?
Yo, Matt, they still on 51. Thank you, Senbeth. Thank you, Naveboy, GG. Thank you, Sean, Casto, Macros, Safio, Norbies, J-Dog, Opal, Rhythm. Thanks for subs, chat. Appreciate y'all.
Obviously, this trio has dominated group number 1.
Oh, shit, wait. Ritual, Cole, Peterbot, nice. Bryce, Money nice. Golden Void, Nozo, nice. Josh, underrated one. Shadow Curve, Tyler. Edgy. No, it was Wedgie. No, it was Wedgie. No, it was Wedgie. No, what the fuck, man? 191. No. Shit. 4 points off, bro, and he had such a big lead over Sigma too. 6th, 4th, 10th, 9th, and 13th. Damn. Not a bad match history by any means, but damn, that sucks.
needs to improve on? Is it
Well, let me
just
call
like
the
an
prediction for
off day?
Crayon
Am
as
I
well.
overthinking it?
W
Is it an
Crayon.
off day? Or are there little
Oh,
things you guys
Edgy's
like,
going to
maybe-
last chance, man.
This or that, you know?
I think setting the record for the most amount of points
Thank you, Vath,
outside
for
of
that
a victory
51, by the
royale
way,
in
bro.
group
Appreciate you,
stages
homie.
Isn't necessarily
You crap
an
with the
off
Prime?
day, although it is, right? And that's what's crazy is that they broke more records again today. We were just talking about the records they broke in the play-ins, and here they are doing it again. But the fact that they didn't get the first victory royale puts a huge asterisk on their performance today. But we saw in the
They got it
final
in
two
last
games
chance?
there with
Hopefully,
it that
bro.
Cole and
Hopefully.
Peterbot aren't slowing down.
Yeah, I think the weird thing that kind of mentioned that Zeke's kind of try to like point out here, right, is that their ceiling is like a million miles above what anybody else is kind of doing right now. But they need to get like their basement, right? That bottom floor just a little bit higher up.
The
You know what I'm saying?
basement,
Like
the
sometimes
basement.
they have those like slow games.
I don't know, I'm talking about
where
basements.
they don't put up as many points. And maybe that just comes along with it. Like maybe just the play style of this trio. It's just risky. Sometimes they're just not going to have those good games all the time. But because of how they play, that's what actually allows them to kind of come out with these pop-off games. But I mean, hey, listen, 393 points, 74
What a
eliminations.
finals though,
I'm not
baby.
gonna go
Group
ahead and say
one.
this trio
Damn.
looks-
Oh, it's only
looks,
groups.
looks
It's only
bad
groups.
right now at all.
Yeah.
Are
and
you
just to be
Falcon with the
clear, I'm
Prime?
not trying to like put them down.
Nah,
anyway,
yo,
right? Like,
Zeke's a
clearly
hater,
these
bro.
guys are
Zeke's a
so
hater.
Unbelievable. It's more like I look at it and go like, okay, how much is there? Like, how far are we at the ceiling? Is there more we can do? You know, like, I guess that's where my mind tends to go. Now, as we continue down the list, obviously we can take a look at our top 5. Love to see that Shadow
Did we get
Curve
some
and
Kinch
Tyler
stats?
made it in, and we'll be seeing their finals.
Oh,
But
we gotta wait for it. We gotta wait for the Kinch stats.
Unfortunately, in 11th place, Scare, Edgy, and Chance just missed out by 4 points. And to kind of set that up a little bit, Edgy has made, like, he was the most
What's up, Reese? Not
experienced
great,
player
man, but we got
in
there,
this
bro. We
group.
got there. It
Like,
was a
in
great
terms of
day.
just,
We
like,
made a good
how
day out of
long
not
he's
feeling the
been
best.
playing Fortnite. He's had like 20 finals appearances, I believe. And remember, when we went into this game, they were only ahead by 3 points. And that's why it's tough. You know, when we go into these games, it's like the job's never done. You really
You think
have to
Pete's
see
mad he
out
didn't win the
through that
game?
last
No.
game.
I don't think Pete's
so very
mad at
tough
all.
to see a finals without Edgy, but don't worry. You still have last chance to qualify.
Yeah, thank you,
It's fine,
Josh.
Zeke. We
With the
still have
£1
last chance to
no, thank
qualify.
you, bro. On YouTube.
Yeah. I mean, there's still plenty of opportunity, and I can't imagine Scare, Edgy, and Chance not preparing everything that they can for those last chance qualifiers, and that's just 3 teams making it through, joining the 30 teams that we'll find through groups 1, 2, and 3.
Bro, that's some
And
big teams
speaking
that didn't
of
make it
groups
through
2 and
already.
3, next week in Vivid, we got the double header, right? We got Group 2
Ooh,
and
Group 2 and
3,
EU is
plenty
crazy.
of giant trios making their way back.
Yeah.
My camera did something weird. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, groups 2 and 3 being next weekend, right? Groups number 1 kind of showed us what can possibly be on the table for some of these groups. Obviously, we're going to introduce some new teams. But I think today showed us one thing.
Broadcast's really fun
At
today.
the start of this, we were all kind of talking about how much pressure there is in major number 2, and even seemingly more than in the past years. And it kind of settles in once we take a look at the leaderboard. Then we say, okay, 5 teams
Edgy
to
got a
wins,
lot of seconds
5
with
teams to consistency,
centered
oh, and
death.
then
Yes.
all of these other teams
Edgy
are
came
out from
second
major
5 times
outside
in a
of
row
the
with
LCQ,
centered.
where we only have
In
3
FNCS.
spots available. So if you're not one of those 3 teams, then you got to go to major number 3, right? There's just like so much to kind of think about for these teams. Next weekend's going to be exciting.
Yeah, dude.
4,
yeah,
4,
I'm
that's
already
right.
stressed. I
Did
always
Centered
get
have an
stressed
extra
for the
one by
players.
himself? Yeah,
It's like,
4 times,
obviously, it's a
sorry.
lot.
And
I mean,
Centered
if
had
you follow
5.
Fortnite,
I think is what it was.
It's a lot.
Yeah, I
but
think 4 in a
at the
row,
end of
and then
the day, this is
Centered
still
got a 5th.
competition. And there are still more things to happen in the coming weeks before we make it to finals. And then, of course, eventually, the Pro-Am. That's right. Don't forget, Pro-Am this Tuesday, Duo Day. Make sure you guys tune in. Make sure to see which duos are being paired together. It's going to be a big reveal. Make sure if you want to go, tickets are available.
I'm slightly nervous
But
for the
until
Pro-Am
next
team
weekend,
reveal.
this
We'll
is the
see.
part
I'm
where
gonna
we
have fun
kinda start
regardless,
saying
but
goodbye. I know it's the worst part of the show because I would love to sit here and talk Fortnite with you guys, but we have to say goodbye. So as always, next weekend we're back. EU is before us. They've got their own groups. Please watch them. Go encourage them. Follow all the players you're seeing, and don't forget to check out those tickets for the FNCS Pro. And with that being said, as always, we love you. Keep yourself safe. We'll see you on that battle bus.
Beep, beep.
all right, what do we get? So we haven't got the full Kinch stats yet though. So we've got, these are the records that Kinch is saying that Pete just broke. So we got the most consistency points, 393, previously 365. Most elims in a group, 74, previously 62. And then most elims in a group game, 26, previously 23. But I'm guessing Veno's pointing out that it was 27. Yeah, I remember Thomas 27. I guess heats and groups is different. They might be defining heats and groups separately. How long does it normally take for Kinch to do like the damage stats and stuff? How long does that normally take, chat? Is it longer because he'll know? Oh, that'll do it. Most damage dealt. We had Peterbot in first, Cold in second, Bryce in third. I mean, it's a decent jump down, but yo, fucking homie Bryce, bro. The IGL, hell yeah. Big shout out to Bryce. That's big numbers, dude. Definitely instrumental in their success, surely. Edgy in fifth, also the IGL. And doesn't qual. Feels bad, man. Ozone up there as well. Tony, Tyler, Ritual, Josh, and then Boone. Woo. Now, chat. That is the end of it. YouTube, peace out. I love y'all. YouTube, I'll see you guys tomorrow for the main channel video, but I won't see you guys on stream for a couple days.